Welcome back to the SFL studios with pregame live. Mike and Cam back with you. And coming up next, we've got Denver and Arizona. Denver, I wouldn't call them heavy favorites, Mike, but they are certainly the favorites in this matchup. They are a rough and tumble team, and this is going to be a down and dirty game in the trenches. What you got for us?
Yeah, Cam, as you mentioned, Denver, without a doubt are the favorites in this game. But, I'm not sure what the line is going in because Arizona is going to give these guys all that they can handle. Denver's only lost 2 games over the course of 2 regular seasons. Arizona's definitely going to have their work cut out for them. We'll start with Denver as far as the analysis goes. We know they're going to be led by Jared Mcchesney, MVP candidate. Get him the ball early and often, and that's going to set up their play action game that they like to run with Josh Miller. This guy's only been sacked the least amount of times in the league, only 12 times. No big receivers, no big numbers as far as numbers-wise on that side of the ball. But Giacomo Jones, Bryce Fallon, Riley Quintero, a great wide receiver core that they have over there, and they're led by a great defense. Roscoe Santagria, Matt Papineau in that defensive backfield, Marlon Marshall up front, and Des Troyer are going to be looking to pressure Ashley Jackson on the other side. And let's look at Arizona and Ashley Jackson. This team, basically goes as she goes. If she has a clean game, look for Arizona to put up a ton of points. If she, throws the interceptions as she, tends to do at times, it's going to be a long day for Arizona. But hey, they have a great defense as well. D.D. Sachs, Mark Mello up front. We're going to see if they can make a difference in getting pressure on Josh Miller and getting him uncomfortable. And maybe Arizona will have a chance to make a difference on the defensive side of the ball today.
We are looking forward to it. And hey, Mike, we've kind of upped our game and gotten Tim Hackett on a light-speed rail, and he's gone from Fort Lauderdale to Denver. No, I'm just kidding. He's back in his virtual studio, but he will be calling the game with Stephen Hacker. So we'll have Tim Hackett and Stephen Hacker on the call coming up from Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium in Denver after this commercial break. This has been SFL Pregame Live, and the quarterfinals roll on here on For the Fans. We'll be right back for kickoff.
for the fans.
Spot in the SFL semifinals still at stake as the focus shifts to Richard L. Snowden Stadium in Denver, where the top-seeded Denver Nightwings welcome in the high-powered offense of the Arizona Scorpions. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Mile High City. Alongside producer extraordinaire Cameron Irvine, our statisticians Mark Mello and Tristan Hatley, and my partner Stephen Hacker, I'm Tim Hackett. You're watching the Simulation Football League on For the Fans. Happy to have you with us. Quarterfinals wrap up here this afternoon. The juggernaut Nightwings begin their quest for their second league title today, Hacker, but the Scorpions have shown they can hang with anyone this season.
And it's a hack attack in the booth here today, Tim. Excited to be here with you. Quarterfinal matchup, Season 16 Simulation Football League. And like you said, this one should be a good one. Both offenses very high-powered. Denver's led by their running back, Jared Mcchesney, who's going to get a heavy workload here tonight. On the other side, Arizona brings a passing attack that's very dangerous. They try to balance that passing attack out with DJ Moses, but led by the Hands brothers in the receiving corps, Ashley Jackson tries to keep them fed all game long and can put up huge numbers. We'll see if she can do it here on the road in Denver, Tim.
Offensively, Steven, I mean, you hit it. I mean, I think this game boils down to two completely different philosophies. Arizona loves to pass. They're one of the best passing teams in the league. Very dynamic. They throw a lot. They get a lot of yards. They throw a lot of touchdowns, a lot of picks. Denver is a ground and pound team. Jared Mcchesney is one of the best, if not the best, running back in the SFL this season. Which of those offensive philosophies is going to win out and get one of these teams into the semifinals?
Yeah, and it's really, I think, defense too, Tim. Defense is going to be a huge factor. Both of these teams have sneaky good defenses. I think it's going to come down to game plan and, like you said, who can shut down what the other team likes to do the most.
Well, the Nightwings will get the ball in the second half. Arizona off of their upset win last week against Mexico City, and their star quarterback, Ashley Jackson, will have the ball to start. We're ready to go. One more spot in the semifinals still to determine, and we will do so here in Denver this afternoon. Deep kickoff. Jacob McCall will field it from inside his own end zone. Here he goes, trying to get outside. He has the second most kick returns in the SFL this season. Not a very good start for him here. Arizona will start off inside their own 20. So like we say, Stephen, last week, Arizona, the number 11 seed, as you see on your scorebug there at the bottom of the screen, they spring the upset against Mexico City, the number 6 seed, and I think it is fair to call that an upset. What did the Scorpions do to win that game?
Well, Ashley Jackson really played a clean game, completed a lot of passes, but the factor there was no interceptions. Had the touchdown and 305 yards. DJ Moses, who just got the carry there, also had a big game, 25 carries for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. And defensively, Eddie Gage, the Hall of Famer and owner of the Arizona Scorpions, balled out, securing multiple interceptions and really slowing down Mexico City as they were trying to get themselves in position to win that game. So a huge performance on the defensive side of the ball as well.
We mentioned the Scorpions love to throw, but they go on the ground to their fourth-year tailback, DJ Moses II, on their first play from scrimmage. Once again, from the offset eye, Ashley Jackson will throw here. She will check it down to DJ Moses, spins away from the tackle of Nick Kindler, and then lowers the shoulder and gets near the first down. Stopped short, though, by Adam Wiseman, the middle linebacker. And when I was watching this game last week, Stephen, it seemed to me like what I saw from Arizona last year, where they threw to DJ Moses all the time. He was one of the league leaders in catches, and Ashley Jackson was one of the league leaders in completions because she threw to DJ Moses so much. That has not been the game plan for them this season. She throws to their wide receivers, and he carries the ball, which is what he does right here, right up the middle, first down, out to the 35, and Arizona moves the sticks here.
And it's a very effective approach too. If you try to stay back deep in a zone, they're going to gut you with DJ Moses. If you try to come up and play, stack the box and shut down DJ Moses, they're going to burn you with the Hands team. The Hands brothers are going to get you deep. So I mean, it's a good philosophy that Eddie Gage and Ashley Jackson are putting together there in Arizona.
So 17 yards on their first 3 plays, and Arizona moving the ball here against one of the best defenses in the SFL. They will give it to DJ Moses. He picks up just one, stopped again by Adam Wiseman. Let's introduce you to the Arizona offense. You've heard from her already. Ashley Jackson, the 5th-year quarterback from Atlanta. DJ Moses is the running back. He's in his 4th season. The wide receivers. Okay, hey, we're going to set it to break really quick as we move along here in the first quarter. You're watching the Simulation Football League playoffs. Welcome back to Richard L. Snowden Stadium in Denver, Colorado. We're underway here in our final quarterfinal game. Alongside Stephen Hacker, I'm Tim Hackett, Mark Mello, and Tristan Hatley, and Cameron Irvine along for the ride. Happy to have you with us. One more semifinal spot to be determined. And as we went to break, Ashley Jackson links up with Donnie Hands for a gain of 8. 3rd down and 2 now here from the Scorpions from just outside of midfield on their opening drive. DJ Moses gets the give, and he's stopped short of the sticks. Adam Wiseman has his 3rd tackle of this first drive.
Yeah, Wiseman with a huge play there to stop that drive out of field goal range for the Scorpions, so they're going to have to punt this one away, and Wiseman with 3 fantastic plays to stop the Scorpions' drive.
What a play from Adam Wiseman, the 3rd-year linebacker. All of his seasons have come here with the Nightwings anchoring the middle of this fairly young defense, but don't let that fool you. They are good in just about everything. Punt is away from Brian Clouds. Return is on, or at least they try to, from Riley Quintero, the rookie wide receiver. So now, Stephen, our first look at the Nightwing offense, which has been great all season. They are at or near the top of the league in a lot of different categories, led, of course, by their tailback, Jared Mcchesney.
Yeah, Mcchesney's 6 seasons in the SFL and just a dominant force the whole time. This guy can carry the rock all game long, not slow down a beat, and it's a huge factor in the success that Denver has had.
Denver 11-1 for the 2nd straight season, the #1 seed in the playoffs for the 2nd straight season, and they've been lethal 3 of the last 4 years. Their first play of this game on offense, Josh Miller checks it down to Jared Mcchesney, and he gets smacked by Everett Garrison.
What a huge play. Defensive stud Everett Garrison comes up and lays the wood on Jared Mcchesney, and that's a huge signing. You know, Arizona brought him over this season, and he just fit right into this defense.
Yeah, I was going to bring him up. The offseason acquisition coming over from Houston, joining this defensive backfield, and what an addition he's been. Miller, that's more like it for him, over the middle, and a pickup of about 9 for number 44. That is R.E. Mills, the fullback, who gets in the action fairly often, and a nice pickup for Denver.
Denver's quickly out of their own red zone, moving towards plus territory. We'll see how they can string together the next couple of plays.
60 total touches this regular season for R.E. Mills as a 2nd-year fullback. 3rd down and 2 for the Nightwings, who have been lethal on these situations all season, 56%. Miller back to pass, throws it over the middle into coverage, and it's picked off right on cue. It's Bernard Smith, the 4th, with another interception. He was massive for the Scorpions last week, Stephen, and he picks off Josh Miller on their first possession.
Yeah, and just got away from Miller a little bit there. The lefty, it looks like the receiver got held up a little bit in traffic too. B.J. Loveless in coverage, and the bump there caused the errant throw, and Bernard Smith able to capitalize on the ball, pretty much had a free shot at it. Now Arizona pretty much right where they left off the last drive.
That was Bryce Battle, who tried to lunge out to make that catch, but it was way out of his reach and right into the waiting hands of Bernard Smith, who had the game-sealing interception last week. Now from inside the 40, DJ Moses gets the give, and he rumbles up and picks up 9. He was tremendous last week, Stephen. 155 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, a rushing average of better than 6 yards per carry.
Yeah, and Moses really, in his time with the Scorpions has slowly evolved into a workhorse back, and he's just earning the carries week after week, doing the work for the Scorpions all season long.
Let's introduce you to the rest of the Arizona offense. Stephen called them the Hands team. That is what they're called, the wide receiving core. The brothers Donnie Hands wears number 11 in the white, and James Hands number 12. And Jacob McCall, who's not related, but he wears number 13 in the white. On 2nd and short, Ashley Jackson will check it down once again to Moses. Spins around and picks up the 1 yard that he needs. Rosca Santagria, the corner, on the stop.
Yeah, and I think Arizona is trying to lull Denver to sleep here, continuing to feed Moses. And I'm just wondering when Jackson is going to take that shot downfield.
DJ Punk is the tight end for Arizona, and the offensive line is anchored by tackles E.J. DeQ and Sean Crooked. Scorpions taking their time. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Jackson floats it over the middle. It's caught. Touchdown. Arizona strikes first against the #1 seed, Jacob McCall, who did not have a single catch last week in their upset against Mexico City. Strikes here. Arizona takes the lead.
Looking like Mighty Mouse out there, dwarfed by James Hands, but out there burning the secondary, getting the touchdown. A huge strike. Beautiful throw from Ashley Jackson, and Arizona takes the lead.
What a play. Jacob McCall is kind of the forgotten third member of this offensive trio with the Hands brothers, who have both had sensational seasons, as we'll discuss. But I mean, like we say, 0 catches last week for McCall, the third-year man out of Baton Rouge. But he strikes first on Arizona's second possession. What a start for the Scorps. Larry Barr, the rookie kicker, is on. He has not had a perfect season. The kick is blocked. Unbelievable. For the second straight game, we see a failed PAT in the first quarter, and right on cue. It's not been a perfect rookie season for Larry Barr. His kick goes right into the defensive lineman. I think that was Logan Mack.
And that's huge. I mean, a play like that, it doesn't much. Oh, it's only 1 point off the board. But that 1 point can be a difference maker in the grand scheme of how this game can turn out. So we'll see if that extra point has an impact on this game.
And we saw that in the first semifinal. If you were with us, you see the final score there, the top left of your screen, Florida 30, Las Vegas 23. So the Storm are back in the semifinals, but there was a missed extra point in that game as well, and for a long time it seemed like that may come back to have a huge impact on the final score. Didn't really necessarily, but it could have. Denver back on offense, now trailing, and their efficiency, not just pass efficiency, but offensive efficiency this season has been off the charts. They never turn the ball over. Jared Mcchesney is as effective of a runner as it gets, and Josh Miller is very careful. They will go on the ground to Mcchesney, who has had nowhere to go, admittedly through 2 drives, and I mean, this stat bears repeating, Steven. I mean, they average 158 rushing yards per game, best in the league. It's the first time that the Nightwings have led the league in rushing. Last year, I feel like they were more dynamic through the air. Josh Miller was an all-star last season for Denver when they went 11-1 and got to the semifinals before losing there. This year, a complete paradigm shift, and Jared Mcchesney is the figurehead, the focal point of this offense, and it's led to another fantastic season. They will go to him again, and he's taken down again for the second time in this quarter. Everett Garrison stonewalls Jared Mcchesney in the backfield. Unreal.
And it looks like Eddie Gage did his homework, put in a great game plan for this game. Arizona has come out very prepared and is slowing Denver down considerably early in this ballgame.
Well, another tackle for loss and right on cue. Arizona is the best at tackles for loss in the league. Also, they lead the league in sacks as a team. 3rd and 12. Miller throws it into coverage off of the helmets, it looked like, of Bernard Smith. Giacomo Jones was the target, comes up celebrating even though he didn't make the catch, and it will be another 4th down. Well, actually, the first 4th down for Denver, but they fail on 3rd down again.
And Bernard Smith there in coverage, helping out Everett Garrison, but great job by the safety to get over, help his cornerback out and tip that one away, prevent Denver from converting a 1st down. It's nice to see Denver taking the shot, but, really surprised right now. Jared Mcchesney pretty much non-existent for this Denver offense.
Yeah, the whole Denver offense has been really slow to start. Miller is 2 of his first 4 for 8 yards and an interception, and now they will punt it away. Lily Long, the Denver punter. Both punters have been active here in the first quarter, which is a completely different shift, a tonal shift from what we saw in the first game of this Sunday doubleheader. Decent kick from Long. McCall will try to return, and he gets out to the 50. And Arizona already on top 6-0, Stephen Hacker. They've got the ball at the 50-yard line, setting up shop for Ashley Jackson, who was one of the most prolific passers in the SFL this year.
Yeah, Ashley does a really great job throwing the ball. Finished 2nd in total yards this season with 39.92, so almost 4,000 passing yards, 24 touchdowns to go along with it. That's best for 3rd.
Career high in passing yards, 8 short of 4,000, like you say. Moses will get the give, and look who's there. Adam Wiseman is at the scene of the crime once again, along with number 55, Echo Love, the other Denver Nightwing linebacker. And so Moses, some good, some bad for him here in the first quarter. Tell you about the rest of the Denver defense as we go along. Marlon Marshall and Michael Rochester are the defensive ends. Des Troyer on the inside. You just heard from the linebackers, Echo Love and Adam Wiseman, who both played their whole careers with Denver. They'll go back to DJ Moses, and he is hogtied from behind by Michael Rochester right on cue. The second-year defensive end keeps Moses to a gain of 3.
And that's what you got to do. You got to find a way to contain DJ Moses, put Arizona in these 3rd and long, and make them one-dimensional. They're going to have to go for the 1st down marker here, and it allows your defense to play a little bit more comfortable.
But Ashley Jackson does love to throw. She's thrown a lot of touchdowns and a lot of picks this year. She will have to throw here on 3rd and 8, airs it over the middle into coverage. What a catch! She links up with Jacob McCall again with 3 Nightwings right on top of him. What a link up.
Yeah, and that post route has been there both times. Ashley Jackson has wanted it. Great route run by McCall there. Safety get over in time to help out, and it's a first down for the Scorpions.
It's backup safety Mike Dino in there on the coverage, and Arizona exploits it. The rest of the secondary for Denver, Matt Papineau, Nick Kindler, and Rosca Santagria are the corners. Josh Vasquez and Maurice Lloyd are the safeties, but they have been powerless so far here to stop Ashley Jackson in this Scorpion red-hot offense. From the 26, Jackson will throw short this time. It's caught right at the line of scrimmage, though, and not a lot doing there for number 84, Joseph Thomas, one of the tight ends.
And not every pass can be huge, down the field, 80-yard touchdowns. Sometimes you're looking for a timing, you're looking for a rhythm builder, and I think that's what that was for Arizona.
Jackson kind of middle of the pack in completions, in attempts, and in completion percentage, but high-powered offense, yes, boom or bust offense at times. They will go on the ground to Moses, trying to get him established. He spins around and picks up 6. That looks like Papineau on the stop, the third-year corner. This Denver defense, Steven, I mean, there's so much variety. Almost everybody is pretty new to the league, third year or less for almost everybody on this team, but everybody on this team has now spent multiple years with the Nightwings, and having that kind of consistency, that sort of ability, that opportunity to build your player, especially underneath the guidance of somebody who is as intelligent as Jeremy Vega, can only be a good thing. And now Arizona in the red zone for the first time. From the 20, Jackson floats it up. It's caught by TJ Punk, the new addition to this Arizona offense, and the Scorpions have another first down.
Yeah, and a good play design, good play call by the Scorpions. Getting in that third and manageable, 3rd and 4, it opens up the playbook, and you can attack the defense in so many more ways, and that was an effective way right there.
So TJ Punk comes over from Mexico City and then helps Arizona beat Mexico City in the first round of these playoffs with one of the best games of his career. From the 13, Jackson throws top of the screen. It's caught by James Hands. The elder Hands brother has not been as good as Donnie has this season, Stephen, but he was great last week, and he's got a catch here.
Inside the 5-yard line, down at the 2, I expect a heavy dose of DJ Moses here, or maybe a screen pass out to the flats to check the defense.
Ashley Jackson, the first female quarterback in the SFL, has completed her first 8 passes from the split back set. They will hand it off to Moses, and he is blown up. Denver has read DJ Moses a lot this game. It's Logan Mack, the number 2 defensive tackle, in on the stop.
Denver doing exactly what they need to do. You got to stand strong. You got to key off, and they went for DJ Moses, and they shut him down, got the tackle for loss.
Does that change the game plan now here on 2nd and goal from the 4? They will go on the ground to Moses. Tries to crack outside into the end zone, almost untouched. DJ Moses strikes, and Arizona doubles the lead in the first quarter.
And great patience from Moses here. Watch the vision. Oh, didn't like what he saw inside, cuts it outside, and runs over the linebacker on the way to the end zone. Great vision by Moses to extend the lead for the Scorpions.
Well, I said almost untouched. Forget that. Sam Blanchek, one of the backup linebackers, had hands on DJ Moses right when he got to the goal line, so it may not have mattered, but he still threw Blanchek down to the turf and made that touchdown a no-doubter. He scored 10 on the ground this regular season, added 2 last week in their playoff win against Mexico City, and now the Scorpions on top by 2 scores. Larry Barr, who had his first PAT blocked, sails that one through no problem. And what a start here for the Scorpions, Stephen Hacker. I mean, an absolute dream scenario for Eddie Gage and company.
Yeah, Tim, this is exactly what we prepare for, being the owner of the Toros and making the playoffs. I think I could speak for all of the coaches and owners that are in the playoffs. This is what we live for. We want this moment. We want our shot to show that our strategies and game plans are the best. And hard work pays off. And I think right now Eddie Gage is smiling. And I think, Denver's just waiting for some of their opportunities to arise. They're here at home. They've played phenomenal ball all season long. And so I think they're patient. When you average 150 yards on the ground, you're committed to running the ball, and all it takes is one play. So you handing it off, you go with what works. And so I think that's all Denver is waiting for. They have a stout defense, so they're just waiting for that Jared Mcchesney, that J train to take off.
And to your point, this is a very patient team, and Jared Mcchesney does not get to be one of the best offensive players in the country through nothing. I mean, they go to him early and often when you're leading, when you're trailing, though in fairness, Denver did not trail all that much this season in an 11-win season, but they are more than happy to continue to feed the beast. But they will go away from him here. Miller into traffic, a risky throw. It's knocked away. He was targeting Jeremy Mosley, the tight end, and it's swatted away by Iverson Gamble.
I don't mind the shot on first down. I actually like that a lot. You keep the defense honest. If you're coming out on first down, always running the ball, you're allowing Arizona to stack the box. You become one-dimensional. So I like the throw on first down. Keep the defense honest, but keep working. I think J-Train's going to be the key for you here.
Trying to unlock Josh Miller a little bit. He's been thoroughly outdueled by Ashley Jackson so far, with obviously a minute left in the first quarter. Mcchesney alone in the backfield and 3 wides for Miller, the southpaw. In his 7th season in the SFL, fires top of the screen. That's caught by Bryce Battle. Best offensive play of the day for the Nightwings and a pickup of 12.
Preseason player for the Nightwings, 6 foot 175. Gets good separation on the out route. Arizona was in a zone there, so gave the out route, gave the outside away to the receiver, and he's able to capitalize, get the first down.
Yeah, a lot of real estate out there against Parker Thomas, the nickelback. Let's introduce you to the rest of Denver's offense. Josh Miller, the quarterback. Jared Mcchesney, the tailback. They've been running mates here for the Nightwings for 6 seasons. Giacomo Jones, Riley Quintero, Bryce Battle, the wide receivers. Jeremy Mosley is the tight end. R.E. Mills is the fullback, but he's off the field right now on 1st and 10 from the 31 over the middle. 2 receivers were wide open, and Miller could have taken his pick there, and it's hauled in for another first down and a gain of 17 by Bryce Battle.
And Denver just overloaded the zone coverage by Arizona. Went right into the meat where Arizona was waiting. I mean, the secondary was playing off coverage, and the all slants just overloaded the defense, and Miller found the open receiver. Nice throw.
Nightwing's offensive line is anchored by Gene Benazzi and D'Amico Ryans, the 2 guards. On the ground, they go to Mcchesney, trying to get him involved. He breaks out of a tackle. Jared Mcchesney lowers the shoulder and picks up 10 as the first quarter comes to an end. The Nightwings have been grounded to start, but here they come. The number 1 team in the SFL starting to get unlocked a little bit.
Great way to end the quarter. Hadn't called Joey Tropicana's name all game long, Tim.
Yeah, and he absolutely runs through the first wave. BJ Loveless. We're done with one from Denver. The Scorpions on top early. It's 13-0. This is the Simulation Football League on For the Fans. A dream start for the Arizona Scorpions. They score twice, Denver is marching down the field trying to respond. Tim Hackett and Stephen Hacker here with you live. Mark Mello and Tristan Halley running the stats for us. Josh Miller will fire it to the top of the screen. Giacomo Jones has his first catch of the day. He brings it in for a gain of 9. Number 44, Everett Garrison on the stop. Beautiful day in Denver. It was a beautiful day in Florida earlier to see their home team pull out the home win to move to the semifinals. The number 2 seed Storm will advance to play the number 4 seed Baltimore next round, and Denver and Arizona awaits, Vancouver rather awaits the winner of Denver and Arizona next Saturday. Miller on second and inches, throws over the middle, has a man there, but the pass was wayward, and there is a penalty flag, our first of the day, Stephen.
Yeah, we're going to see a defensive pass interference here in the way of the receiver. As the receiver is trying to make an excellent catch, the defender was there, got him. Yeah, BJ Loveless going to get dinged with the penalty, the yellow laundry, and I agree with the call. He was there, impeded the receiver from making the catch.
Point for you, Stephen Hacker, the veteran wide receiver and now multi-year coach and owner here in the SFL. You've seen a thing or two over your time here in the SFL, and you were dead on with that. BJ Loveless is called for the penalty, and the Nightwings are going to get a fresh 5 and a fresh set of downs. The defense for Arizona looks like this. There's a look at Joey Tropicana. He and BJ Loveless are the backers. D.D. Sachs, Alex Constantine, Max Knight, and Mark Mello are the front. Perhaps the best defensive front in the SFL this year. Miller will throw. Pass is caught wide open. Riley Quintero. He will accelerate down the sideline, breaks out of a tackle, and he's thrown out of bounds inside the 5 by Joey Tropicana. This Nightwing offense is starting to cook.
Yeah, and definitely getting the momentum going here, and it's looking good. I mean, Denver is getting some positive yards through the air, and it's a breath of fresh air after going stagnant early in the first quarter. Now inside the SFL red zone, we'll see if Denver can respond, Tim.
How about this defensive backfield? They got exposed there, but Everett Garrison, Iverson Gamble, and Parker Thomas have all been in the league for at least 4 years. And the safeties, Bernard Smith IV and the Hall of Famer Eddie Gage, trying to lead another Arizona upset like he did last week. Denver now first and goal from the 3 inside the red zone for the first time. Split backs for Miller. He will give to Jared Mcchesney. Breaks out of a tackle, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. The possible SFL MVP has arrived in the postseason. Mcchesney gets the Nightwings on the board.
And it's just a matter of time. That's nothing new. This guy finds the end zone all the time, and it's just expected. When they get down inside the red zone like that, J-Train's going to carry the load for him, and he's just a different breed. He's just so patient, so willing to wait for the blocks to develop, and then whenever he sees the gap, he just explodes like nobody else.
He was masterful. Oh, sorry, Stephen. Excuse me. He was masterful this regular season, and you saw those numbers culled together by our fearless commissioner, Cameron Irvine. He has owned Arizona in the past as well. But like you said, Stephen, I'll toss it back to you. Sorry to cut you off, but it just, like you say, it's a matter of time, you would think. Arizona owned that first quarter. They were great. They got a takeaway. They scored twice, but this Denver team, I mean, they lost only once this regular season, lost only twice all last season. They don't stay down for very long.
No, Denver and even Arizona, both very, very tough opponents. It's just, like I said, with a guy like J-Train, it's just you just have the confidence. Whenever the offense flows through this guy, he's a cog, thing that makes it all work. Like I said, it's just a matter of time to see him get going. But Josh Miller on that drive was really the key factor, completing passes to multiple receivers. Denver really was targeting the short to intermediate game. They weren't really taking shots downfield, so methodically moving down the field. Josh Miller did a great job on the drive.
He was 2 of 4 over his first 2 drives with a pick, and then on that drive, 4 of 5 for about 60 yards. So you're dead on. I mean, Miller starts to get on a groove. Mcchesney absolutely gets on a groove and punches it in with a touchdown. He's been great this year and adds to it here in the postseason. Look out if you're Arizona, but this is how you stem the tide, right? You've got the opportunity to now put the ball back in the hands of Ashley Jackson. She will throw here. It's caught by James Hands, who switches fields. He now plays at the top of the screen, the right side of the offense, and picks up 4.
Yeah, and what Arizona can't do is let the momentum that Denver just got impact their ability. You can't let that phase you. What you've been doing so far in this game has been working. So keep doing what you're doing. Make the incremental changes as you need them. But so far, what you're doing is working. Keep firing away.
The Hands brothers have been fantastic for the Scorpions all season. More on them as we go along. James picks up 4. Jackson will throw, floats it over the middle. It's caught. There's James Hands once again out across the 40-yard line. And a big, check it. It's 42. Hold on. It is James Hands. I was right the first time. I was distracted myself, but right on cue. James Hands was excellent last week, Steven. He's got back-to-back catches here.
I'm just looking at the 10 for 10. Ashley Jackson just coming out in fuego, on fire here today, and just leading this Scorpions offense. It's beautiful to see. 10 for 10, Ashley Jackson.
Both James and Donnie Hands went over 1,000 receiving yards this regular season. That is insane. Jackson will throw. It's dropped, though, by the tight end Joseph Thomas, who has already made one catch in this game. He could not make it two. He gets plastered before he can haul it in.
Commentator curse. I'm sorry, Ashley. I hyped it up, and there was the forced incompletion, but still a great run. 10 for 10 to start the game.
Yeah, that's crazy. And, of course, the first interception comes on a drop, and the drop only comes because the would-be receiver gets absolutely waylaid by a defender. So, tough break for Ashley Jackson, her first incompletion after she had spread the ball around really nicely, including one catch to the backup tight end, Joseph Thomas. Moses to the lone tailback. They will give it to him. Breaks out, somehow gets outside. What a run from Moses. Runs in to Michael Rochester eventually, but that play looked even like it should have been stopped for a loss, and instead Moses turns it into a gain of 7.
And both of these running backs putting on a display of how to be patient in the backfield. Like you said, Tim, nowhere to go on that play, but somehow Moses able to string out 7 yards. And just fantastic vision.
I don't know how he did it. He also was over 1,000 yards this regular season, one shy of 1,100, 1,099 rushing yards this regular year. 3rd and 3, Jackson will throw into coverage. It's caught by Donnie Hands, who had a career year this regular season, was a little bit quiet last week, but he gets past Maurice Lloyd, and Arizona gets to the Denver 30.
And these post routes for Arizona are they're firing them up and getting underneath the cornerback there. Tight throw, well covered by Denver. But these receivers for Arizona are just showing up and dominating.
What a route that time. Splits between the safety, you see him there, Maurice Lloyd, and the linebacker, Adam Wiseman. There's a look at Donnie Hands, 1,377 receiving yards, the most in the SFL, and by far a career high. Almost twice his previous career high, in fact, and that is going nowhere. Moses is swallowed up in the backfield for a loss. Sam Blanchek is one of the leaders there, as well as Des Troyer.
And these running backs are having to earn every yard. Ran about 7 yards horizontally, and it goes backwards about 3. So, I mean, these running backs are having to work here today.
Arizona just 6-6 this regular season, 7-6 obviously after their win last week, and more on that in a minute because their defensive line just made a huge play. Des Troyer stonewalls Moses in the backfield, but that won't count because another defensive lineman jumped offside.
Yeah, and that's very unfortunate. You had the big play in the backfield, and you're going to give the free 5 yards away. Very unfortunate.
Rochester, who has made a couple of plays already on this drive, is guilty of that infraction, and it's what I was about to say, Stephen. The Arizona, despite being 6-6, have anchored and controlled the line of scrimmage on the balance of the season. They don't give up a ton of sacks, less than 20. That's top 10 in the league. And they have a ton of sacks defensively, tops in the league. We already talked about their TFL prowess. They just do not lose the trenches battle very often. Surprising in that sense that they're only 6-6. On second down, Jackson will fling it this way. It's caught once again. James Hands has his 3rd catch of the drive.
And I think, to key off on your last point, Tim, I think a big thing for Arizona was they started to figure it out as the season went on. They were kind of volatile. It was real, boom or bust for them. So if they could get the turnovers and play clean on the offensive side, they were finding themselves winning ball games. But there were some games where the turnovers got away from them, and they lost those games. And so late in the season now, they've figured some things out, and they're playing a lot more efficient football.
Jackson will throw. That's an efficient play. A gain of 12. Has a man and links up with Jacob McCall, who is already building one of the best games of his career, and we're only in the 2nd quarter.
And once again, inside the SFL red zone, Tim.
And this is insane. I mean, Jacob McCall out of nowhere. No catches last week as Arizona beats Mexico City. Now he's got 3 catches and a touchdown halfway here through quarter number 2. Inside the red zone indeed. 1st and goal from the 3. Again, the give to Moses. Charges up the middle, and he's taken down from behind. An ankle tackle by Echo Love to stop the touchdown.
Denver again on 1st down. Keys off on the running back, but not able to slow him down. If I was Arizona, I'd dial it up again. Give it to Moses one more time.
I was going to say, you go right back to the well and DJ Moses, who's already got 1 score today. They will split the backs now and a couple of tight ends now, 1 wide receiver. They give to Moses. He'll run right behind everybody, and this time he is untouched into the end zone. 2 touchdowns for DJ Moses, the 2nd, and Arizona right back ahead by 2 scores.
And I like the formation. You create an offset balance. You put the receivers over to the right, leave the tight ends on the left, and then run Moses right off the outside of the tight end, and it was pay dirt. Great play design and play call by the Scorpions to get Moses into the end zone.
The way they set that up, Steven, I mean, I predicted that was going to be where it's run, and I do not have anywhere near as much experience in this league as you. And even though I knew, or at least I thought I knew, what Arizona was going to run, it didn't matter. Denver might have known it too, but they were just not able to stop it because of the great blocking and the great power run.
That was just hey, we're going to line up, we're going to beat you man to man. You know, we're going to execute our assignment, and we're going to get into the end zone there. And I think Denver was taking the same approach. We're going to line up man to man. We're going to win our battle. And just DJ Moses just won that one.
Well, Arizona back on top by 2 scores, and it's a good time to tell you that the SFL's third season of minor league action is underway. You can watch every week live on the SFL's YouTube channel at youtube.com/SimulationFL. The league is full of all the newest players who have gone from couch to field and are hoping to one day be on national TV, just like all the players today. Want to get on the field? It's never too late. Visit www.simulationfl.net to join our Discord community, create a player, and start building your career today. I mean, Denver's got a great example of this, Stephen. Riley Quintero, who you just saw right there, was a minor league standout last year, his second year in the minors, so he had to stick around, wait his turn, and then turned into one of the best, arguably the best minor league offensive players last year, ended up being a first-round pick and is a great compliment to this offense here as a rookie.
Yeah, it's a great story. I mean, you spend the 2 seasons in the minors, and then look where you end up. You end up on the Denver Nightwing, one of the best franchises in the SFL. And it just, I'm sure Riley Quintero is more than thrilled to be a part of that franchise, and is probably more than happy to tell his story as well.
Here's another former minor league standout, R.E. Mills. There are plenty of good fullbacks in the minor leagues. There have been over its 2 years of existence. Mills was one of them. He also finds his way to Denver in the draft last season, and he picks up 9 through the air. Right. Nightwings right back to the line. 2nd down and inches, offset eye, and a couple of tight ends. Arizona packing the box and showing blitz. 5:10 left in the second quarter, and Mcchesney is blown up again. Arizona has had his number most of this time, most of the game so far, and Joey Tropicana with that stop.
You got to run to the other side. You don't want to attack the left outside linebacker, or the outside linebacker there, Joey Tropicana, one of the best in the business. If I was Denver, I'd try to take that the other way.
Led the team this season with 94 tackles, as well as 8 tackles for loss and 7 pass deflections. 3rd and 3 for Denver. They've struggled in this situation today. Mcchesney has the catch. This depends on the spot. They give him the first down right to the magic yellow line and no further.
Yeah, and if Mcchesney had put that into his right arm, that would have been short. Luckily, when he caught that ball, it ended up in his left arm, and when he was tackled, the ball fell just over the line to gain.
Just barely. B.J. Lovelace was there to help make the stop, and Mcchesney had some success, as we've seen, trying to get on track. They will go to him here. Can this help him? Lowers the shoulder and picks up 5. Lovelace and Tropicana were both there. And, I mean, let's spell it out, Stephen, because we've hinted at it already. Possible SFL MVP, you're looking at him right there, Jared Mcchesney. Get this. 1st in the league in rushing yards at over 1,750. 2nd in the league in carries at over 300. 2nd in the league in rushing touchdowns with 16. 2nd in the league in rushing average at 5.8. No fumbles. He has had an almost perfect season as the Denver feature back and led them to an almost perfect regular year. They will throw to him here, and he is decked 3rd time this game already by Everett Garrison, the veteran corner.
Certainly a lot of prime candidates for the MVP race, but Mcchesney has been in that conversation week 1 through week 12 and continuing here in the playoffs. He's just, again, a dominant force in the SFL. It's hard to look at anybody else when you look at his numbers like that.
And what an addition Everett Garrison has been to this team. He comes to Arizona, a team that already had a number 1 corner in Iverson Gamble, and he adds another number 1 corner to this defense. Miller will throw this way. It's out of the hands of Bryce Battle. He might have been out of bounds anyway, Stephen. D.D. Sachs, you see him there, applied the pressure, but that was kind of an ugly link-up between these 2 veterans.
Yeah, you got to find a way to reel that one in. Ugly throw, questionable on the sideline or not. You got to find a way to reel it in and give, at least put it in the hands of the replay or the line judge to call it out of bounds and give your team at least a shot there, because Denver, I thought, had the right approach, coming out a little conservative. Again, short, intermediate attack. But I think you got to find a way to wind some clock out. You got to extend some drives here, because this game's going to get away from you. Arizona is showing to be on point here, so Denver really needs to respond, and a 3-and-out there wasn't the way to do it.
Long boots it away. McCall on the return. It was kind of a pedestrian season at times this year for Josh Miller. I mean, middle of the pack in completions, attempts, and in yards, but his secondary numbers were tremendous. Second in completion percentage, fourth in touchdowns, through the fewest interceptions in the league, second best quarterback rating, and so far, none of that has come to pass for Josh Miller, the seventh-year veteran. Already has a pick, only completed 69% of his passes through a quarter and a half. It has been tough sailing for him, and Arizona has done their best to capitalize. DJ Moses picks up 3, and with only 3 minutes left in this first half, Stephen, what's your prescription going forward?
Yeah, Denver needs to stop right now. This drive for Arizona can't lead to points. And then just on offense, again, you got to find a way to extend these drives and keep your offense on the field, because Arizona is the team that's putting up the point.
Moses approaching 50 yards rushing, and that won't help because he's taken down in the backfield by Des Troyer. We talked about Arizona's ability to stop teams in the backfield. Well, how about Troyer, the appropriately named defensive tackle, 13.5 sacks, 20 tackles for loss, 5th and 6th respectively this year.
3 seasons, 6'7", 295, big body there on the defensive line.
Just insane. And Michael Rochester, the same measurements as well on the outside, believe it or not. 3rd down and 8. Jackson deep drop, throws under pressure, gets Moses, and Moses is stopped a couple of yards short of the line to gain. Decision time for Arizona when we come back. 2 minutes left in the first half. The Scorpions on top on For the Fans. Well, Denver, understandably the favorite team, playing at home as the number 1 seed against the number 11 Arizona Scorpions, but it's Arizona who has gotten out to a hot start north of the desert. Tim Hackett and Stephen Hacker here with you live from Snowden Stadium in Denver. The Nightwings will get the ball. They do the job, Stephen, and they will start off from their own 40 with all 3 timeouts at their disposal.
And the hack attack continues here today, Tim. The difference really being in this ball game right now, the turnover from Josh Miller. The interception for Arizona has really separated the teams, and Arizona's been able to move the ball downfield consistently. So Denver, with time on the clock here before the half, Tim, we'll see how they respond.
Trailing by 13. They scored a couple of possessions ago through Jared Mcchesney. He's in the backfield with Josh Miller, who will throw over the middle. First down, Jeremy Mosley accelerates, breaks through a hit, and gets out inside the 35. What a start to this drive for Mosley.
And some fireworks for Denver. That's what they need. They need this pulse before going into the halftime break, Tim.
And coming up on the halftime break, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green break down the first half between the Scorpions and the Nightwings. They sit down with history-making Arizona quarterback Ashley Jackson, and they go over the keys to victory for the second half. That's all coming up on the SFL Halftime Report. A minute and 18 separates us from that. They will go to Jared Mcchesney, will the Nightwings. He picks up 3, stopped by Nick Butkus, the outside linebacker. Right back they go, up the middle. That's R.E. Mills this time. He picks up a couple. Tropicana with the stop.
Denver's stuck in a weird formation. We'll see if they can get out of this, and they need a first down.
From the 30, 3rd and 5. Again, they go to Mills. Can he get outside? Oh, a rallying tackle by Arizona. Max Knight, the rookie defensive tackle, pile drives Mills to the ground. And now a decision here for Jeremy Vega.
And I think going into the half, you just want to take the points. As big a game as this is, you've got plenty of time left in this ball game. You take the conservative approach, you take the points, and it looks like they're going to get Kramer Jackman out onto the field.
Well, we talked about it's been a dodgy season for Larry Barr, the rookie kicker for Arizona, but anything but that for Kramer Jackman, who has staked his claim to the title of best kicker in SFL history. Another perfect season. He's 32 of 32 in the 12-game regular season. Brandon Perna with the snap down. The kick from Jackman is on the way and is good from 45. Kramer connects once again, and Denver capitalizes on the good field position. It's a 10-point game.
Yeah, and Denver did what they needed to do to stop Arizona on the drive, and it's good to see them get the points. Again, keeps them in striking distance going into the halftime, but 48 seconds for this Arizona offense. They like to take the shot downfield. 48 seconds is a lot of time, and they still have 3 timeouts, Tim.
I was about to ask you what you wanted to do, what you wanted to see from Arizona down the stretch here. Like you say, plenty of time, 3 timeouts, one of the most dynamic, prolific arms in the SFL at your disposal. Let's see what McCall can do. Not very much. He has been stonewalled in the return game all game so far, but he's been great in the pass game. One of the best games of his season. And Ashley Jackson, who is 2nd in the league in yards, 3rd in the league in touchdowns, has 45 seconds to go 81 yards.
And I do expect Arizona to try to take the shot. I don't necessarily see them going conservative. I expect them to take 1 shot down the field before we go into halftime.
As a team, 4th in the league in points, 2nd in the league in pass yards. On the ground, they will start with Moses. He spins around, runs into the safety Josh Vasquez. No timeout coming for Arizona after a gain of 8.
And going to put me to the challenge here. I'm calling them out saying I expect the shot, but we'll see if they let the clock run down. Again, it could be a simple adjustment in their strategy to get DJ Moses involved at the end of the half. But again, I don't know. Arizona can be tricky, man. They'll throw something on you and you don't expect it.
They will run it again to Moses. He spins around and picks up the first down. He's stopped right there by Maurice Lloyd and Matt Papineau. And Arizona doesn't have to run a play if they don't want to, and it looks like they won't. I'm as stunned as you probably are, Steven.
Don't normally see it from them, but it's good. Protect the lead. It helps you get through it. Again, it's a big matchup, key game in this season. So I like the conservativeness, but again, just their tendency shows aggressive.
Arizona up 10 on the number 1 seed Denver Nightwings. We'll head to halftime with Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green. The halftime show is next. Simulation Football League on For the Fans.
Welcome to the SFL Halftime Report, along with Mike St. Green. I am Cameron Irvine. We've got a good one at the half. Arizona 20, Denver 10, the number 1 seed in a bit of trouble. But, Mike, it kind of reminds me of that Vegas-Denver game back in Week 12, where Vegas was up by 20 at the half, 27-7. And then we saw just a completely different Denver team in the second half. What do you think about the comparison and how Arizona played in the first 22 minutes?
Yeah, I think we can look at it, possibly that way, but maybe a little difference in this game is that Jared Mcchesney hasn't gotten anything going at all in this game. I think he has less than 20 yards so far in the first half. And things turn on a dime in that Vegas game that you mentioned in the second half. I know Arizona would like to just do a duplicate of this half and go home with the victory. But one of my notes from this game was that Arizona came out and they basically dominated and controlled the first quarter for sure. Denver did get something going late and got an early second quarter touchdown from Mcchesney. But one thing Arizona has done over the course of the rest of the half is to control the football through just short passing game. They haven't been explosive as we typically see them with Donnie Hands and James Hands for as huge plays, but they have moved the sticks, controlled the clock, kept Denver's offense off the field, and now they find themselves up 10 points. And want to point out real quick, Jacob McCall, the third receiver, has had a big half at this game, probably the best game of his career so far.
I was just going to say, Mike, how about McCall? And then there you go, right at the end. No stone unturned. But he's outplayed Riley Quintero, and we've seen it a lot early in this game. Arizona's defensive front. Tim touched on it in the first half. 102 tackles for loss coming in for Arizona. That led the SFL, and it wasn't even close. And I mean, they are just hitting Mcchesney over and over and over again, whether it's out in the flat or on a carry. They're one of, if not the best tackling team in the league, and it's hard to imagine that Mcchesney's going to get loose, but whole another half to go.
Yeah, this Arizona defense, man, have been incredible all season long. Yeah, they've given up their share of points in games here or there, but Mark Mello leads the league in sacks with 15. D.D. Sacks, right on his tail with I think 14.5 sacks himself. But then, as you mentioned, this team is known for tackles for loss. I think over what did you give me? 172. So tackles for 102 tackles for loss on the season. I mean, just great defensive players all over the field. B.J. Lovelace is another great linebacker with he's high on the all-time list in tackles in his career. Man, it's going to be a tough comeback for Denver in this game. It's just great players on this Arizona defense all over. I know what they did against Vegas, but if Arizona can control this ball, duplicate what they did in the first half, no turnovers from Ashley Jackson. She had an excellent first half, only one incompletion. It's going to be a tough hill to climb for Denver.
14-15 for Jackson. Denver was 1 of 5 on third downs in the first half, and Arizona's star players are getting a tackle in the backfield, one every 5.3 tackles this season. It's unbelievable. For comparison, Denver is 1 in every 11.6. So you could just see the disparity there in how Arizona is able to get into the backfield. Well, earlier this week, Mike and I sat down with a history-making quarterback, the first female quarterback in the SFL, the first female quarterback to win a playoff game, Ashley Jackson, and we had an in-depth conversation with her about her season, about her playoff victory last week, and about this game against Denver. Take a listen. And today on the SFL Halftime Report, we have the quarterback of the Arizona Scorpions, Miss Ashley Jackson, host of SFL Nights with AJ Stryker, and also the general manager of the Scorpions. How are you, Ashley?
Absolutely fantastic, guys. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here, Ashley. I'm glad you could join us. Hey, first of all, love the fro, the best fro in the SFL. Man, glad to see you here, and glad to see the fro is doing well.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. First question for you. In a lot of ways, you're the first lady of the SFL. First female quarterback in the SFL, and right now, still, I believe, still the only female quarterback in the SFL. Does that bring any added pressure to you to want to succeed, your player to succeed as a female in this, mostly male-dominated league?
In a sense, yes. Because I do want my player to be able to compete with the other quarterbacks in the league, and being a woman in a position like this, I'm sure women, some little girls are probably looking up to me and like, I want to be able to have my player if I'm ever joining the SFL, or even if something male dominated like this, they want to try to be the best that they can be. And I think that I'm doing a good job. Sometimes I throw interceptions like Oprah pass out keys to cars, but we make it up on the on the back end. So
Ashley, it's been a roller coaster career, but you finally have your first playoff win. And some quarterbacks never get one. They play 4, 5, 6 seasons and they just aren't able to get one. So what was that experience like? Winning the game last weekend? It was down to the wire. It was a very close game. At one point, you all were trailing 21-14, ended up winning the game 24-21. What was that like in the playoffs to get that victory?
it meant a lot more in the playoffs, particularly because if I'm being honest, I wasn't sure if we were going to make it. With extenuating circumstances that are happening, and I just wasn't sure. So it was a pleasant surprise to actually see the score in the triple zeros hit, and we won the game. And for me to be the first female quarterback to actually have a playoff win like that, I was ecstatic. Like I was going to record it, but I was like, no, I'm jumping all over the place. I can't breathe, but it's a truly exciting moment. And it's something that I probably would not have experienced definitely in real life, because I'm not getting ready to go out here and play for the Atlanta Falcons right now. And
Matt Ryan's getting old, Ashley.
he is, but I'm not getting ready to go out here and get hit for real. But just to be able to have that experience, man, meant a lot, and I was truly excited and happy, and I'm still kind of coming down off that, because I didn't know we were going to make it. I didn't know if we were going to do it.
Right, and as Cam just mentioned, I mean, Arizona, making the playoffs for the first time and getting the first playoff win under your belt. This is your 5th season in the league, and you joined Arizona, season 14, 3 seasons ago, your 3rd season there. And, I'm a little familiar with you guys over there, and most of these guys that are there are the same guys that, pretty much started this franchise. A lot of those same guys are together. You added a few pieces here or there. But how satisfying is it that you guys have grown together at this point and now got your first playoff win under your belt? How satisfying is it to pretty much do it with the original guys that joined you guys 3 seasons ago?
It is very satisfying, because when you invest your time in a team, and no matter how many seasons that you're in, especially if you want to just stick with one team, you want to show that you're improving every season. The first season of the Scorpions, nowhere near the playoffs. Second season, almost there. Now we actually made it. So, who knows what the future may hold, but it's important, at least as a GM, to try to retain as many of your players as possible so that you can grow together, so those bills can mesh together and progress together and become like the Baltimores of the league,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad you mentioned the general manager side of things, Ashley, because the general managers on these teams, they are the human connection. They are the ones that I think most enjoy or most appreciate bonding with individuals, outside of just having a virtual player in the league, right? It's very important to build a culture, and you're big on human connection. You do wellness checks. I know you don't just do them for me. I've heard that, other players around the league get those too. And I know that that's a big part of your mantra, and that's very important to people. What's it like recruiting people to come to Arizona? And what do you like most about that role of being a general manager? The team owner, Eddie Gage, was actually just talking you up in another channel today, I saw, saying that, hey, look, half our players are here because of Ashley. She's a great recruiter. So what do you like most about that?
I think that, like you were mentioning, the person-to-person connection, because we're all avatars, On the field, you see a player out there doing his thing, but it's the person behind the player that's most important. And you never know what's going on in someone's life. Just for you to just say, hey, what's going on? Just want to let you know I'm here, wellness check on you, whether it's one sentence, hey, Ashley, I'm doing all right, thanks. Or if it's like 5 or 6 paragraphs of telling me how you doing and everything like that. That kind of stuff means more to me than anything. And maybe that's the maternal instinct, because I do have 2 children. So maybe it's just a part of my personality to want to care for people. I've been in the service industry. I've been in all of that. So I love people and I love caring for people and to show that I care. And that's probably why most people that are on the team one of the reasons why they want to stay is because I do care not just about what's going on in the league, but for that person in their own life too. And I get joy, and I get enjoyment out of that. I get enjoyment by hearing, well, Ashley, thank you so much for checking on me. It's been a week. It's been so long since anybody even said anything to me sometimes. So,
well, I know it's appreciated.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, so many of us can, see that, personality and see your genuineness, in all of your actions, daily throughout the SFL. My last question for you is, now that you guys are on this playoff run, made the playoffs and got a win under your belt, let's take that a step further and definitely not looking ahead of a great Denver team and who else you would face after that, possibly. What do you think it would feel like for you to participate or even win the SFL championship?
Oh man, that would be so fantastic. That'd be so dope, because that's something that, it didn't necessarily, how do I want to put it? I always wanted to be in the championship game. Now, I didn't necessarily see myself in that particular position. I don't know why. I just never did. But if I was to win, first of all, I'm going to dedicate the season to my dad,
Mm-hmm.
And that would kind of be like, hey, Dad, because he knew I was doing this too. Like, hey, Dad, I finally did it, man. Yes, you saw me when we were struggling, and now, wherever you are, you can see me, holding up that trophy. So to win that would be amazing. And even for the team, we've been working so hard and making progressions. Every time progression opens, we usually have anywhere from 10 to 12 players that instantly progress, and everybody pretty much has progressed by the end of the first day of progression. And so just to see all of our fruits and coming to harvest, so to speak, that means so much. That means so much.
It's kind of how I felt, Ashley, after my grandfather passed away. He passed away before we made it on TV, and I said all the time I had been doing this, we're going to be on TV someday. And when For the Fans reached out and wanted our product on their network, that's the first thought I had is, I get to tell them, hey, I made it, right? And so that would be an amazing accomplishment, and your dad would be super proud. Last question, Ashley, before we let you go today. You're a champion for all players in the SFL, but for the female players of the SFL too, which there are now quite a few. What's the message that you'd like to get out there to all the other women who are big football fans and want a chance to play amongst the boys? There are tons of women football players out there, and also just women who are big football fans who are looking for a way to get engaged and get involved. What would be your message to them?
Just do it. Like Nike. Just do it. Because
call us Nike.
But it's whenever you have if you ever want to just do something, sometimes it's just go out there and do it. Like even with the podcast, I've been doing that for 4 seasons. And I never thought that I was going to do something like that. I just said, okay, I have an idea. I'm just going to just shoot for it. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, fine. At least I know that I tried. So for all the women out here that do want to try to come into the league, don't be fearful. Don't just think that, oh, it's just a bunch of guys in here and they're not going to accept me. What I remember our first conversation, Cam, and we were on Twitter, and I watched the Tallahassee and Alaska Storm back then game, and I said, I really want to be a part of this league, but I'm just kind of afraid because there's so many males, and would I be accepted? You told me then that I would, and I tell you, this has been one of the best decisions that I've ever made. And it helps you grow, and it also and it allows you to do things that you never would have done. Like, I've been a broadcaster. I worked on the stats team. I write articles, podcasts, all of that good stuff. So it's just more than just being a player. If you ever have the aspirations to do anything, you can actually start here, and you never know what it will blossom to. So ladies, do not be ashamed. Do not be afraid, I should say, to try something different, and you will be accepted here. Very safe place, not going to make you feel less than or anything like that. So I highly encourage you to do it.
Well, we appreciate you, Ashley, on and off the field. You're an inspiration. Good luck against Denver this weekend, and we'll see you on the field. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks for being here, Ashley.
So much, Mike, for needing luck. 14 of 15. Jackson is on fire in the first half. But back to football, and thanks, Ashley, for joining us for that interview. But back to football, Mike, your keys to the second half.
Cam, I really think this opening drive for Denver is going to set the tone for this half. If they're going to really need to put something together, I think, and get points out of it one way or the other to maybe put some pressure on Arizona, because right now, it's not a huge lead, 10 points, a couple of possessions. This can bring it into a one possession game, and then you can get into where, maybe a mistake by Arizona can, immediately get Denver, back in this game. So a huge first possession for them. I think they need points out of this, and that's going to set the tone for the rest of this ball game.
Yeah, I think for on Arizona's side, don't forget who you're playing. Do what you did in the first half. Don't get away from it. Keep McCall engaged and involved in the game plan, right? It's totally throwing them off that we've seen more McCall, less maybe Punk in the slot. And keep doing what you're doing. Don't get away from it, and don't try to do too much too fast. Ashley's keeping another clean slate, just like she did last week. They got to keep it going if they want to beat Denver, because Denver's going to give them a run. Sometime, somewhere, somehow in the second half, Denver's going to come after them. We'll see how Arizona responds. We'll get to the second half after this commercial break with Tim Hackett and Stephen Hacker on the call back at Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium. This has been the SFL Halftime Report, and you're watching the SFL Quarterfinals on For the Fans.
Well, back here in the Mile High City in Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium, it was a meteoric start to the first half for the Arizona Scorpions. They go up 13-0 after one quarter, and they lead by 10 as we get ready to start the second half. Happy to have you with us. One more semifinal spot still to dish out. Denver will get the ball trailing by 10 at home. Riley Quintero has nowhere to go, and that's kind of the story of that first half, Stephen Hacker, as we welcome you back into Denver. Denver has nowhere to go. The Arizona defense limited them in all facets of the game. Their offense was pretty clinical, and they've got a 10-point lead.
And Hack Attack going again here in the second half. Tim Hackett, got to be back in here after that great halftime report. Be interested to see how Denver starts this second half off.
They'll start off with no Jared Mcchesney, and Josh Miller will throw, looking top of the screen. It's picked off right into the hands of Iverson Gamble. A great start for Arizona. Gamble chasing down to the sideline, and Jeremy Mosley prevents a touchdown. What a play for Iverson Gamble, the seventh-year corner, and what a start for the Scorpions.
Exactly what Arizona needed, and I think Denver took a calculated risk there, went into the half, said, hey, you know what, let's try to get something going early, come out the gate swinging. Probably Miller's only second attempt deep downfield, but it leads to an interception and great field position for Arizona now in the second half, in position to take a commanding lead. Tim?
This is unbelievable. I mean, again, Denver 11-1 this season. Their only loss came to Houston. After that, in midseason, they were perfect the rest of the way. Survived a scare against Las Vegas in Week 12, yes, but almost a perfect regular season. And now first and goal for the Scorpions from the 3. DJ Moses cannot get through the first wave. Nick Kindler, who usually plays on the left side of the Denver defense, on the right side that time, stops Moses for a loss of 1.
And if Denver can mitigate the damage and hold Arizona to 3, that would be huge on this drive.
Moses already has 2 rushing touchdowns today. His team has a 2-score lead. Second and goal now from the 4. Again, they will give it to Moses. And again, Denver is ready. He runs right into the teeth of the defense. And Echo Love, the linebacker, stands through. And so does Heath Bars, the backup defensive tackle.
And I actually worried, Tim, that tackle for a loss actually gives Arizona a little bit more breathing room in the passing game. It stretches the field a little bit more. And then look at him in the shotgun now.
Remember, Jackson, 24 passing touchdowns in the regular season, third most in the league, and she has one already today. From the 7, she will throw. She'll dump it down short to Moses, and he is blown up once again. Matt Papineau, the number 1 Denver corner, makes the stand. Arizona gets inside the 3. They end up losing 1 yard on 3 offensive plays, and here comes the field goal unit.
Denver, exactly what they needed there. Jackson had time to throw there, but good coverage by Denver. Pretty much all the defenders were pretty much standing at or near the goal line, waiting, keeping everything underneath. Once Jackson checked down to Moses, they swarmed for the ball and stopped Arizona.
So Larry Barr, the rookie, former undrafted free agent, comes in and nails one from 20 yards out. He was 1 of 2 last week as Arizona beat Mexico City and was only 27 of 30 in the regular season. Not a perfect rookie season for him here. It's been kind of an issue for Arizona over the last couple of seasons, but Barr delivers there. But to your point, Stephen, Denver, after they gift Arizona that golden opportunity on the very first play of the second half, they lock it down and prevent the Scorpions from seizing command.
And I really wonder if Denver's going to stay aggressive here, or if they're going to try to slow it down a little bit, go back with that short and intermediate passing game, to try to eliminate that turnover, because you can't give Arizona the opportunities that you've been giving them.
Well, as Mike St. Green mentioned in the halftime report, Jared Mcchesney has done next to nothing in this game. Yes, he has Denver's only touchdown, but that came after a short field that Denver was able to work into. So he has that 1 score and looked good in doing so. But other than that, Mcchesney has been absolutely stonewalled so far in this game. One of the best offensive, most productive offensive players in the SFL this year. The Nightwings will try to get him going. They check it down to him. He gets 3 through the air. They're stopped by Joey Tropicana. I mean, get this, Stephen. So on the season, Jared Mcchesney averages through 12 games, 11 wins for Denver, right? Averages 146 rushing yards and averages 184 total yards of offense. In that first half, unofficially, 17 rushing yards, 21 total yards. Just paltry numbers compared to what he has done all year. Up the middle they go. Nice run this time for R.E. Mills and a pick of a 5.
And owner and head coach Eddie Gage, defensive guy, loves the defensive side of the ball, likes to scheme things around. I know he'll say, defense travel, and it's showing here today. Arizona on the road coming to Denver, playing excellent.
Yeah, this Eddie Gage defense has taken it to another level so far here through a half. And Denver averages 31.5 points per game. They've only scored 10. And on third down, they stop him again. Joey Tropicana one-on-one against Jared Mcchesney, and the Scorpions win the battle.
That's a tough task, Tim. I mean, one-on-one, fills the gap, makes a nice play, stops Mcchesney dead in the tracks. Fantastic play by the linebacker.
Denver now 1 for 7 on third down, our stat team reminding us, and this is a surprise. They were one of the better third down teams in the league. No surprise when you go 11-1, 56% on third down. Almost blocked the punt from Lily Long. She just barely is able to get it away. Returnable, though, for McCall, who tries to come outside. He's going the wrong way. Wow, he was almost at the 40-yard line, and he gets stopped at the 36.
Maybe a little too excited there, trying to make something happen. Was looking to make the defender miss, but ends up going the wrong way on it. Can't blame them for trying to make it, though. These special teams guys, they don't get the ball that often, so when they get the ball in their hands in that moment, they want to make.
Well, here's the flip side of that last equation. Denver very good on third down on offense, but Arizona is known for its third down defense. This season, they held opponents to 39% success on third down, as DJ Moses has nowhere to go on first down. 39% hit rate on third down in the SFL this regular season. That was by far the best in the league. Again, a couple of these metrics really kind of bury the fact that Arizona was just 6-6, a pure 500 team, and some of their numbers are a lot better than that. But to your point, Stephen, the turnovers have killed them all season long. The turnover differential is really bad, last in the league. Jackson will sling it sidearm there. It's caught for a gain of about 5 by TJ Punk.
Yeah, and that turnover differential really can. It can turn a good game into a bad game really quick. Just because you're taking the possession, you're taking yourself out of the game. And, I think Arizona just succumbed to that too many times but again, here late, they've really figured it out. They're playing a lot more effective and efficient football, and it's leading to great results for them.
And +2 turnover differential today as Jackson airmails it down the left sideline. That's knocked away by Matt Papineau. It was almost in his hands. Could have been Denver's first takeaway of the game, but instead it will be a 4th down.
Yeah, not so damaging. Because it did lead to the 4th down, but that's a ball that you expect, Denver's secondary to come away with. That's the opportunity your team needs, and again, 4th down, you're going to get the ball anyways, but that could have been a huge momentum shift for Denver.
The Nightwings, as good as they are in a lot of different metrics, do not take the ball away all that much, kind of middle of the pack in that regard, but Papineau was their team leader with 6 picks. No one else had more than 3. So punt away now from Brian Clouds, and Riley Quintero trying to do something to impact this game. Can't do it. He's hit there by Parker Thomas. And this isn't the first time these two teams have met this season, Stephen. Back in week 4, you see that there, Denver beating Arizona by 13. Donnie Hands went off for over 200 yards, one of the best games of his killer season. Josh Miller was fantastic. And Cameron Irvine showed us that graphic earlier, calling Denver's offense efficient. I mean, there you go. Only 5 incompletions and 1 sack allowed in that game to the team that ended up leading the league in sacks, the Arizona Scorpions. Not the same success so far here today. On the ground, they go to Mcchesney, and right on cue, this Arizona defense with another TFL. Joey Tropicana had 8 in the regular season, and he stops Mcchesney for a loss of 4.
Joey Tropicana must have spent extra time in the film room this week. I mean, he is just all over the field. Anywhere Mcchesney goes, there he is to make the play. Fantastic ball game so far for Joey Tropicana.
Our stat crew has credited him with 3 tackles for loss already. That's insane as we're just underway here in the third. Arizona now on top by 13. Miller throws, tipped, could have been picked by Thomas, and now there's a penalty flag late. I mean, what's your guess on this one, Steven? This could be a massive call.
I think he went to the penalty flag for pass interference, and I don't know that I agree with that. Oh, okay, it's a face mask. Okay.
Wow. We've seen incidental face mask against Nick Butkus, who is one of the number 2 linebackers here for the Scorpions. You get a look at him there at the scene of the crime. Well, that could be a game-changing call.
I didn't quite see it, but my guess would be maybe he was trying to go up and bat the ball away and somehow got his hand caught up in the face mask there. Regardless, gives Denver some free yards and fresh set it down.
A couple of penalties now we've seen in this game. We barely saw any penalty flags thrown in the first game earlier today as Florida moved on to the semifinals once again. Denver trying to join them. Arizona trying to spring the upset. Here goes Mcchesney, churning the legs forward, and he gets the first down. Runs through Iverson, Gamble, and a couple of others. Gamble and Garrison, the two number one corners here for Arizona. There may not be a better cornerback duo than those two, but neither of them were able to stop Mcchesney on that one.
He's a tough back to bring down, and we've seen a similar run from Mcchesney in this game, and I'm just wondering, they need to keep going to the well. I know that the 13 points seems like a lot, but Mcchesney is that guy that can take it at any given time, and I know Arizona's playing superb football, but keep giving it to Mcchesney. He's the guy that makes you go.
They will play action it though here, and they will throw over the middle, and that's a nice link up. They bluffed the give to Mcchesney and end up throwing it to R.E. Mills. That play has worked a couple of times, Steven. They get 9 that time.
Really, really fun to see offensive coordinators and head coaches dive into the playbook and find these plays where the fullback is going downfield, getting him involved as a receiver. It's a dangerous option, and fullbacks are also very, very good at carrying the ball in the SFL also.
We'll go on the ground. Mcchesney, not the fullback, and he is snowed under by Joey Tropicana, and Everett Garrison comes in. Or check it, that's Alex Constantine. You see him there, the big defensive tackle for Arizona. I mean, let's spell it out here. The league leaders in teams in sacks and tackles for loss, as Cameron Irvine outlined at the halftime break. Constantine right there, the third-year man from D.C., 6 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. D.D. sacks on the outside, 14 sacks, 23 tackles for loss, and Mark Mello has 15 sacks. But they can't stop R.E. Mills right there, right on cue, Steven. Your prescription for success. Give it to the fullback. First down.
Yeah, and it's working pretty well for them. They got caught up in the first half in a no-huddle situation that didn't quite turn in their favor, but R.E. Mills is definitely a weapon for this offense, and it's a good change of pace for the Nightwing.
He's close to their leading receiver today. Unofficially, 3 catches for 26 yards. It's just a couple behind Bryce Battle for number 1 on the team in yards. Mcchesney is blown up. One-on-one, another big hit from Joey Tropicana, who is having a standout game. Now over double-digit tackles. He's got 14.
It's 2 different poles of a magnet there, Tim. It's just anytime Mcchesney touches the ball, Tropicana is coming in like a rocket to make the play.
Yeah, Tropicana, right? Joey Tropicana is what we're going with now. Gain of 2 on first down for Mcchesney. On the ground they go again, and again, Arizona was ready for it. They try to feed R.E. Mills, but Constantine, we just talked about him, another TFL, and Arizona gets those 2 yards they permitted right back.
Now a tough 3rd and 10, Tim. Denver struggling on 3rd down. Forced to pass here. We'll see how what they play on defense.
Remember, Arizona has been lethal defensively on 3rd downs all day. Denver converted just their 2nd one earlier this drive. 3rd and 10. Miller rolls out, throws into a tight window. It's knocked away. One-on-one. He was going for number 81, Jared Battle, but B.J. Lovelace, the linebacker, was there. We haven't even talked about this part of the game yet, Steven, but B.J. Lovelace, I don't know if that'll be a pass deflection, but he had 21 of them this regular season, the most in the league.
Oh, yeah, just all over the field. B.J. Lovelace, a veteran, knows how to play that inside linebacker position, force in the gaps, and can step back in coverage. Not so great at securing the catch, but can definitely put it away. Really good, knows where to be in coverage all the time. Consistent coverage linebacker.
3rd-year backer from Eddie Gage's native Chicago forces a 4th down and another punt from Lily Long. 3 minutes left in the 3rd. Arizona trying to pull off one of the biggest upsets of the year. We're back after this on For the Fans. The SFL broadcast team is looking to add new talent to our ranks of broadcasters. Applications are being accepted now to try out for either play-by-play or analyst broadcasting positions. No experience is required, just a love for the game and a desire to succeed. On the ground, they go with DJ Moses. He's blown up for a loss. The application can be found on our website at simulationfl.net/broadcasting. And who knows, sometime you can be calling a playoff game like Stephen Hacker and I have gotten the privilege to do here this afternoon. We are happy to have you along for the ride. Tristan Hatley and Mark Mello helping us out in the stat truck. Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green working hard behind the scenes. It's our pleasure to be here with you as we are bearing witness to one of the best performances for Arizona this season. But DJ Moses coughs up the ball. This could be a game changer. Denver's got it. DJ Moses had 2 fumbles last week, Steven, and this could be the play of the game. The Nightwings get a fumble late in the third.
Echo Love forces the fumble, and then Marlon Marshall able to fall on it, cure the ball for Denver. Huge break for the Nightwing.
I remember Eric Vincent and Cade Stevens in that Arizona-Mexico City game last week. They were right on it. DJ Moses had 0 fumbles in the regular season through 12 games in a season in which he had over 1,000 rushing yards. Last week, he fumbled the ball twice, and Mexico City recovered one of them. Now Denver's got it, and Jared Mcchesney barrels through the defense, blows through Everett Garrison, and Denver has first and goal.
That momentum shift, Tim, that might have been that changing moment. Mcchesney feeling the momentum shift. Look at him. Tropicana had his number all game. Lowers his shoulder, gets the first down. I think Denver's feeling it here, Tim.
Oh, you were right. Tropicana was the one that Mcchesney ran through. Giacomo Jones was the one who threw down Everett Garrison. That was all above board, apparently. And Denver now has first and goal. The Nightwings are not dead yet. 2 minutes left in the third. Still a 2-score advantage for the Scorpions. From the 3-back set, here is Mcchesney. Again blows over a man, but this time a couple of other defenders are there to stop him and limit him to a gain of 4.
Heating up, give it to him one more time, get him on fire. I think Mcchesney's calling for the rock in the huddle right now, telling Josh Miller, don't even call a play, just give me the ball. I want the point.
Iverson Gamble on the stop. He led the SFL in defensive touchdowns with 3 in the regular season. From the 4, they go right back to him. Mcchesney sidesteps, goes through Eddie Gage, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. Jared Mcchesney has his second. The Nightwings turn that fumble into 6.
And capitalizing on the drive, Jared Mcchesney wakes up here and gets Denver within a possession now. And at home, Denver has to fight back in this game.
And how about that block from R.E. Mills to help pave the way? Second touchdown today for Jared Mcchesney, who had 16 rushing touchdowns in the regular season. Second most. It has been slow going for him and indeed for Denver's offense all day, especially here in the second half. PAT is up and good for Kramer Jackman, no surprise. In the second half, Denver, remember they threw a pick on the very first play. Arizona ended up turning that into a field goal, and then the Nightwings punted on their next 2 possessions, and now they get the fumble. 3 plays later, they go 18 yards, and Mcchesney carries them the whole way.
Denver getting the turnover that they needed to help close the gap on this ballgame.
Talked about the turnover differential absolutely torpedoing Arizona's season at times this year. The Scorpions minus 15 in turnover differential in 12 regular season games, dead last in the SFL, and that turnover directly leads to 7 points. And we were talking about this in the break. It's been a bad day for Jared Mcchesney. That helps to save face a little bit, right? But still only unofficially 45 rushing yards on 17 carries to go now with those 2 touchdowns. His season low in rushing yards was 74 on 9 carries in that game midseason against San Diego that Denver almost lost, and they almost lost that largely because Jared Mcchesney was out injured for a large portion of that game. He still came back and put up 74 yards. He had 114 or more rushing yards in every other game as Moses picks up 1, Love on the stop. 114 or more in every game, and again, he averaged 146 rushing yards. He's 100 away from that average here as we tick down towards the end of the third. Arizona trying to right the ship. They're still ahead on the heels of their first ever playoff win. Moses, they go right back to him. He picks up 3, and this is exactly what I mentioned the last week's broadcast with Eric Vincent and Kate Stevens, they talked about this same thing, Stephen. Moses fumbled the ball. They still gave it to him. He fumbled it again later on. Arizona did recover it through Sean Crooked, but they continued to give him the ball. They did not go away from him, even with those 2 mistakes, and the Scorpions do that here. 3rd and 6. Over the middle, swatted away, and then nearly caught by Jacob McCall. Wiseman got his hand on it, and then McCall nearly was able to haul it in anyway. A rare 3rd down failure for the Scorpions.
Key off on your point, you know, with the lead and the workload that DJ Moses has shown that he can handle, I wouldn't go away from him either. I think he's a trusted back. I think he's earned the carry, earned the loyalty and the trust that, yeah, some, you know, running backs are going to fumble. That happens with a workload. But, you know, just because he puts it on the ground once or twice in a couple of weeks, you got to stick with your game plan. Moses can capitalize on any opportunity.
And it's not like I disagree with that point in the slightest, Stephen, but it is crazy that he's now fumbled the ball 3 times here in 2 playoff games after he was not charged with any in the regular season. It's kind of a surprise because, like you said, everything builds up to the playoffs in the league. In this league, players get better as the year progresses, as the years turn into further years, as the seasons roll on. Moses has gotten better as this year has gone on. That's how it works. But even now here in the playoffs, he's gotten a little bit of the butterfingers that he hadn't displayed all season, but he's trying to help right the ship, and Arizona not able to do so as they punt it away. Denver now driving, trying to tie, and Everett Garrison has had his fingerprints all over this game. He swats that away.
Arizona wising up to these out routes. Denver is trying to run intermediate and short routes. They're playing to the outside, and Everett Garrison almost walked away with an interception there. Tips it away, and it's good defense.
Josh Miller has completed 12 passes in this game. He entered action today 2nd in the SFL in completion percentage at 75%. He's below 65% in this game. It's crazy. 2nd down now, again from the 2-back set. They will give it to Mcchesney, breaks out of one hit, but can't break out of the other. And you pointed it out, Stephen. Last drive, Joey Tropicana was left in the dust. This time he responds with another stop.
It's been a battle. It's been great to watch these two go at it all game long. It's been fantastic here today.
And we've got one more quarter still to play. Arizona still on top, trying to pull off the upset and move into the semifinals for the first time ever. 4th quarter is next on For the Fans. Well, one more quarter to play here on quarterfinal weekend. Tim Hackett and Stephen Hacker here with you live. It is a pleasure to be here for quarterfinal action. One of these two teams will take up the fourth and final semifinal spot next Saturday. Josh Miller to throw. It's caught. Bryce Battle has a step around the defender. Parker Thomas is the only man who can stop him, and he can't make the play on the first play of the fourth quarter. Bryce Battle takes it to the house, and the Nightwings are a point after away from taking the lead.
Miller just drops it in over the top of Iverson Gamble. Well covered in defense there, but Battle able to secure the ball, puts on the burners. Parker Thomas makes a great effort trying to track him down. The last second dive and just misses, and Battle puts Denver on pace to take the lead here.
This is unbelievable. We knew, Steven, that it's been such a strange season for Denver. They're 11-1. They're really good at just about everything. I look at them and say they're not unbeatable by any stretch, even though only one team was able to beat them this year. They look like they're not perfect. They're not infallible is the word that I've been using. But even with that said, they've been down this whole game. But Kramer Jackman can change that right now. The kick away from one of the greatest in league history, and he delivers once again. Denver has the lead for the first time.
Damn, blocked extra point early in this ball game. Now it's playing a huge factor, man. You know, that was that moment. You know, again, that extra point being blocked, tie ball game otherwise. Now, you know, it being blocked, now Denver has the 1 point, and Arizona is a little bit on the ropes now. You know, momentum has kind of come back to 50-50. It's anybody's ball game, and if the extra point hadn't been blocked in scoreboard, it would be the same way.
You're 100% right, and this is now the second straight game here in the quarterfinals where we've seen a missed PAT potentially come back to haunt a team. Vegas had a PAT blocked in the first game that could have been up 10-3 against Florida. Instead, it was just 9-3. That 1 point didn't end up making a huge difference, but it did change the tenor of the game. Might have changed one of the team's approaches down the stretch, but this PAT has a massive bearing on this game. Now Denver has the lead. Arizona has to respond here. One play into the fourth quarter, how fast things can change. That's a nice start as Ashley Jackson links up with James Hands. We have not heard a lot from the Hands brothers here in the second half.
And I think it's just a matter of time. I think, you know, Arizona came out in the second half and had some things not go their way, and now they're just looking to kind of reset. They've avoided Ashley Jackson from throwing any interceptions, so I still think that they have it in them to take the deep shots. She still is playing very good. So, you know, the fumble by DJ Moses isn't the end of the world. It's still anybody's ball game. So Arizona just needs to continue to do what they were doing early to be effective.
This is what they were doing early, pounding it up the middle with DJ Moses. Echo Love makes the stop, but it has been all DJ in this game, Stephen. Ashley Jackson, like we've talked about, second in the league in passing yards, third in touchdowns, third most interceptions. So they are a very boom or bust pass-heavy team typically, but not today. That's now 25 carries for Moses, 20 pass attempts for Ashley Jackson. It's been a total reversal of script for the Scorpions. 17
completions for Ashley Jackson as well.
That's crazy, which is, I mean, it's a great percentage, 85%. She was great at that last week, but not for a ton of yards. Over the middle she goes, tries to feather it in to Donnie Hands, and that pass was knocked away. And you saw the stat a minute ago, talked about not hearing a lot from the Hands brothers, but how about Giacomo Jones on the other side? You saw it there. Both James Hands and Giacomo have gone over 7,000 receiving yards in their careers this year, but Giacomo Jones has just one catch today.
Yeah, really struggling for 9 yards, so just short of the first down on that one. It's really been Bryce Battle getting majority of the love through the air along with Jared Mcchesney.
He's really been the only pass catcher that has shown up in this game so far for Denver. 68 yards to the house last drive. Denver has the lead. Jackson trying to respond. Tosses it out to Moses. He can't put up the stiff arm. Adam Wiseman has the last laugh there with a great one-on-one hit.
Wiseman quietly is hunting down DJ Moses for the Nightwings linebacking corps. But a 3rd and 5 here. It'd be interesting to see what Arizona draws up.
I don't think it's overstating that this could be one of the most important plays of this game. 3rd and 5, Arizona now trailing for the first time. 90 seconds gone in the fourth. Jackson, quick drop, and now she's taken down, has her legs swept out from under her. This Denver defense rises to the challenge. Des Troyer with another sack.
Disrupt the timing. That was just in time. Ashley had a receiver come open across the middle, but before she could get rid of it, Des Troyer comes in, blows the play up. Fantastic play by the Nightwing.
Denver starters only tallied 20 sacks on the season. That's not a lot. And Arizona only gave up 19. That is one of the 10 best marks in the SFL. Troyer had 13 and a half of those 20 total sacks. Quintero now going the wrong way. We've seen this a couple of times on punt and kick returns this game, Stephen Hacker. Compasses are not calibrated properly here in the postseason.
Yeah, I don't know. Chalk it up to the elevation. How high, Richard Snowden Stadium. Maybe just the compass is spinning the wrong direction for the special teams returners.
The elevation will knock any compass out of sync. You're darn right about that. Josh Miller.
Whatever I can here, Tim.
This very well played, believe me. From the 25, Denver now operating with the lead. They go to Ari Mills, and a big hole for Mills. He picks up 6. Nick Butkus on the stop. Next week, the semifinals will start on Next Level Sports. Coverage begins at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. First, the defending champion Baltimore Vultures face the 3-time champion Florida Storm. And on the other side of the bracket, Vancouver meets the winner of this game, Arizona at Denver, at 6:45 Eastern. The SFL on Next Level Sports. We put the fan in fantasy. We'll recap that here for you in a second. We'll talk more about it on the post-game show as well. A winner to the semifinals to face Vancouver. Here goes Mcchesney, one of the best in the league, has another first down. Tropicana makes the stop, but Jared Mcchesney picks up 7 and gets out to the 40.
What a great open field tackle by the rookie Bernard Smith. That was a tough task, but comes over. Couldn't stop the first down, but prevents anything extra. Just watch this tackle. Good form, boom, lowers the shoulder, drags him down. Great form by the safety.
Oh, you're 100% right. I whiffed on that one, but Bernard Smith did not. And there is a look at Joey Tropicana just to rub it into my face a little bit. Smith was great. Had the game-sealing pick last week on Matt Wilson, the Hall of Famer. And his Hall of Fame backfield mate, Eddie Gage, had 3 picks. Miller floats it up. That's swatted away by B.J. Lovelace. We talked about him in the first half, Steven. 21 pass deflections, most in the league for BJL in the regular season. He's got one there.
And doing what he does. And again, he's so experienced, knows what receivers are going to do from the linebacking position, which is a huge trait to have. Just always seems to be in the right spot, gets the hand up in the right spot, tips it away. Great play.
As the guys were talking about in the halftime show with Ashley Jackson, so many of these folks on Arizona came over with Eddie Gage when they relocated the team to the desert. B.J. Lovelace is one of them, his 3rd year with the team. Joey Tropicana joined the league that year, his 3rd year with the team. Eddie Gage, obviously the figurehead. Everybody on the defensive line, Stacks, Constantine, and Mark Mello, all their 3rd years on the team. It's crazy how this team has stayed consistent, and now they're in the playoffs. Miller bullets it. What a pass and what a catch inside the 35. There's Riley Quintero, who finally makes a big impact on this game, just his 2nd catch.
And I think that's a trend, and a great play by Denver there. But I really wanted to go back to Eddie and his ability to, retain and keep, and Ashley as well, retain and keep players on their team. And I think that's a sign of any good franchise, and it's a recipe for success. When you're able to retain your players, continue to build towards one vision and one goal, it takes more than a season. So to retain your players for 3 seasons, and now you're hitting pay dirt, getting into the playoffs, I know their players really appreciate it.
Mcchesney with a good run. He runs right into Everett Garrison. And then to even go for a step further off of your point, you have this core, and then you augment that with free agent acquisitions. You bring in Iverson Gamble last year. You bring in Everett Garrison this year. That's to say nothing about Parker Thomas, who's actually the longest tenured member of this team. This is his 4th year with the franchise. We mentioned 3 years ago they changed hands and brought, great choice of words there, and they brought the franchise to the desert. But Parker Thomas, the Kentucky native, is in his 4th year with the franchise. Miller has all day. He will check it down, and I think that's Quintero on the short. That is Mcchesney, sorry, on the short catch. Parker Thomas, right on cue, is one of the guys on the stop.
Denver now in plus territory, in Kramer Jackman field goal range. A 3rd and short. What do you think? I think that they should try to get the first down, obviously, but I don't know that they're going to take a deep shot here. I think they're going to stay conservative.
There you go, wide. Miller throws it right into the hands of the linebacker. B.J. Lovelace has the takeaway that he's been searching for, right into his hands. Denver trying to get aggressive, but instead Miller tosses Arizona a lifeline.
A little bit of a low snap for Miller, but B.J. Lovelace plays it perfectly, tipped it away a couple times in the ballgame, finally gets 2 hands on this one, turns the tides for the Scorpion.
And DJ Moses and the rest of this offense will come back out, and Mark Mello, the Scorpion defensive end, reminding me, DJ Moses, another one of the holdovers from the Oklahoma City Renegades era. his 4th season with the team. Everybody else on this offense is new. They joined the team when they moved to Arizona. Ashley Jackson, the quarterback, is one of the figureheads, one of the reasons that everybody's come and stayed. Jackson will throw it here. What a pass. Possibly her best of the game over the middle. And look who it is. Jacob McCall strikes again.
Yeah, and that's a huge reception. Gives this Scorpions offense some life. And, you know, that post has been there for the Scorpions. And it's been interesting that they haven't dialed it up, and I'm glad they did there because now they're really moving down the field, putting pressure on Denver here late in this ballgame.
That was just perfect, all stretches of that play. The tackles, EJ DeQ and Sean Crooked hold their ends perfectly. Jackson has all day, and she delivers a beautiful pass. From the 34, Jackson will take off and run. She gets plastered at the end of it by Echo Love. It will be just a gain of 2, and we do not see quarterbacks run very often in this league, Stephen, but that was almost a designed carry for Jackson, it looked like.
I just took a step back and realized that this play wasn't going to work out, and immediately tucked and took off and ran.
Picks up 2. Love again on the stop. Love is the leading tackler for Denver in this game with 12 and all over the place. 2nd down and 8. Jackson again steps up, throws it short, and it's out of the hands this time of Roscoe Justice, one of the backup wide receivers who was hit immediately. 3rd down.
3rd and long. Denver definitely going to have to play the pass here. And Arizona right now, 40%, 4 for 10 on 3rd downs, a key conversion here for the Scorpions.
And they're on the fringes of Larry Barr field goal range. He does not have the leg that Kramer Jackman does, though few do, so they need a few more yards to even think about it. Play action. Jackson floats it middle of the field, and that's caught once again. Another deep post. This time, James Hands brings it in. So much for the field goal attempt. It'll be 1st and goal inside the 5.
So glad we got a replay here. Look at this throw in double coverage. Hands getting the separation down inside the SFL red zone. What a dot thrown by Ashley Jackson.
James Hands has been overshadowed by his brother Donnie all regular season. He had a career year with over 1,300 receiving yards, led the league in yards and in touchdown catches, but James Hands has been the bigger player in the playoffs. He's got another big game so far here. From the 4, they go to Moses again. Can't get a lot going this time. The Denver defense rallies. Remember, the last time that Arizona was inside the 5, they started on the 3 after that pick from Iverson Gamble. But the Denver defense locked it in. They forced Arizona to lose a yard over 3 plays here in this neck of the woods. Ended up settling for a field goal.
Got Denver to come out in the goal line set here, Tim.
Now the Nightwings will pack the box, trying to protect this 1-run lead. 1-point lead. Moses is hit right at the line of scrimmage. This Denver defense, we mentioned it, Stephen, they stacked the box, and Heath Bars, a very tasty tackle, helping along his Maurice Lloyd 3rd down.
Yeah, and I would like to Arizona do that again, come out with 2 wide receivers and keep Denver in that goal line, but maybe look to throw here.
Moses already has 2 rushing touchdowns. Arizona playing from behind for the first time. 4 minutes left in regulation and in possibly Arizona's season. Jackson to throw. Looking this way, it's tipped, and tipped again. Could have been picked. Papineau had the first hit. Love had the second. Would have been the 3rd pick of the season for Echo Love. But again, the Denver defense holds inside the 5.
Barr is going to come on, get the field goal attempt to hopefully get or potentially give Arizona the lead. But a great job, great stand by the Nightwings defense, making the adjustment on 3rd down. Comes out in a little bit better package defensively, well suited for the pass, and stops Arizona.
And so that brings out Larry Barr, who is made from 20 yards earlier today. This will be from about that distance. Missed 3 kicks in the regular season and missed 1 last week. This to put Arizona back ahead. No problem. Larry Barr, the rookie, delivers. The Scorpions are back ahead by 2.
And Tim, if I may, I want to give a quick shout out to Rochelle Colston in the FTF Next chat, twitch.tv/FTF Next. I see you in there, Ray. Just wanted to say hi.
I will always tolerate a shout out to Rochelle Colston, one of the best people in this league.
So
many shout outs to
Los Angeles Liking.
You are right about that. And she did a whale of a job this season in her first year as an owner, bringing her team to the playoffs, where I think they ended up running into a team called the Fort Worth Toros, but the less said about that, the better. The Denver Nightwings like the Fort Worth Toros to an extent, have been fantastic this season. You see it. Their only loss this year against Houston in week 6. After that, they won their final 6 games of the season. They scored 30 points or more 4 straight games. They can win the big battles. They can win the tight battles. You saw it there in one possession games, which is what this game is right now. Denver was 4-0 in the regular season. Can they add another win to that ledger here in the postseason? They trail by 2 with 3.5 left. Top of the screen, R.E. Mills makes the catch, and he's wrenched down in the backfield. Arizona has been lethal right at the line of scrimmage all day.
Yeah, continuing to make plays in the backfield. I mean, Arizona sticking with what they do best and just stepping up, making a play in the backfield, and it's really putting Denver on their heels.
Something we haven't talked about, you just saw it on that quarterback graphic. Josh Miller has thrown 3 picks in this game. He threw just 19 all regular season, tied for the lowest in the league. And we'll link up here with Jeremy Mosley, the tight end, at 41 catches in the regular season, picks up 8 through the air there. Arizona is not a team that takes the ball away all that much, outside of Eddie Gage, I guess, who had 7 in the regular season and 3 last week. Only 23 takeaways as a team. That's bottom half of the league. And again, the worst turnover differential in the SFL. But they're +2 in that today, +2 on the scoreboard. And Jared Mcchesney has nowhere to go. He's stopped by Mark Mello, and a 4th down coming up for Denver.
Mello and Constantine on a big 3rd down stops Denver in their tracks, and exactly what Arizona needs. Clock dwindling down, and they just need to try to run the clock out. Oh, Denver going to go for this one.
I was about to ask you what you thought. They don't have to run another play before the 2-minute warning, but with the ball on the 30, the number 1 seed on the ropes, Miller will snap it. 4th and 3 over the middle, off of the helmet of a defender, and then out of the hands of Butkus, and it falls down to the ground. A 4th down stop for the Scorpions ahead of the 2-minute warning.
You know what? Denver couldn't have called a better play offensively. They got exactly what they wanted. Their offensive line actually took them out of the play, blocked so well that the defensive tackle in the line of the throw off his helmet gives the defense to intercept it. But Denver executed what they wanted, but Arizona in the right spot to make a play and get the ball back.
That's insane. You called it perfectly. Alex Constantine was double blocked in the center of the Denver's offensive line, but it hits his helmet and then sails away. The Scorpions take over north of the 2-minute warning. A toss to DJ Moses, and Denver was all over that one. That was well read.
Marlon Marshall had that one from the jump, right where that one was going.
And 3 tackles for loss in the regular season. The big one there. 2 minutes left. Denver now on the ropes. The number 1 seed is up against it. When we come back, this is the SFL on For the Fans. Well, the Oklahoma City Renegades made the first 2 SFL championships games. They lost them both. Since then, recently, they have relocated to Arizona, and they have not been back to the semifinals. The Scorpions are trying to get back there for the first time in their franchise's history since Season 2, and they are 2 minutes away from doing so. DJ Moses again the carry, Echo Love again the stop. Denver will use its first timeout. Happy to have you with us from Denver. The Hack Attack is back. Tim Hackett and Stephen Hacker in the booth. Tristan Hatley and Mark Mello in the truck. Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green behind the scenes. This would be one of the biggest wins ever in Arizona franchise history. One of the biggest upsets in modern SFL history. The number 1 seed Denver Nightwings are on the ropes, down by 2 with 2 minutes to go.
Huge third down for Arizona. I think they may just be looking for a completion, try to get into field goal range.
Arizona's been good on third down all season. Denver's defense has been very good on third down all season. 3rd and 17 here. Jackson will throw it short, and another tackle for Echo Love. Denver calls a timeout immediately. The Nightwings play that perfectly. They go through DJ Moses, Arizona does, and now they're at the 35, and they'll trot out Larry Barr for a 50-plus yard attempt.
Yeah, low moving wind, 7 mile an hour here today. Elevation could be playing a factor. We'll see if Barr has enough leg to get this one through. It's going to be about 52, 51 yards, Tim.
He made from 40 last week. Again, he missed 3 kicks in the regular season. Maybe this would seal it up for Arizona. Less than 2 minutes to go. Larry Barr on for his 3rd field goal attempt of the game. It's off.
Leg.
It's good. Larry Barr delivers his 3rd field goal of the game. This from 52 yards. And Arizona leads number 1 seed Denver by 5.
That was all leg. No help from the wind. Probably could have put on 2 or 3 more yards onto that one. Great kick from Larry Barr.
Denver came all the way back. Remember, they trailed 13-0 after 1. They trailed 20-10 at the halftime break. The Nightwings then took the lead 24-23. Arizona has rallied with 2 straight field goals from the rookie kicker Larry Barr, and they lead by 5. But Denver not down yet. Here comes Riley Quintero with a spin move, and a great start for Quintero. He's off to the races. Only one man can stop him. Riley Quintero to the sideline, and no one will catch him. What a time. Riley Quintero has his first career kick return touchdown, and the Nightwings are back ahead. Unbelievable.
Fireworks. Wow. Tim, that was amazing. Riley Quintero spins upfield, reads the block. Ooh! My goodness, what a move to give Denver the lead right back. Fantastic return.
Can you believe what you just saw? I cannot believe it. A rookie wide receiver, Riley Quintero, who stepped into the number 3 spot here for Denver this year. He's been returning kicks all year, hasn't really done anything masterful with that role. But here, with his team down, just trying to get his offense an opportunity to rally. He's the rally himself. He puts Denver on top by 1, and now the Nightwings, no surprise, Steven, with 90 seconds left, they'll go for 2.
Trying to 3-point to force Arizona to have to score the touchdown.
Do you go through Mcchesney? They sure do, and Jared Mcchesney makes no mistake. From the 3-back set, the offensive line paves the way. Jared Mcchesney cashes in, and with 93 seconds left, the Nightwings now lead by 3.
3-point Arizona, all of their timeouts still remaining, and there's plenty of ball game left. 133. These receivers, they're dynamic. They, Ashley likes to take the shot downfield. I mean, Tim, this is playoff football at its finest right here, right now in Denver.
SFL football at its very finest as well. This has been fantastic. Almost every playoff game here this year has come down to the wire like it normally does. What a great kick from Kramer Jackman. No surprise. All the way to the back of the end zone. No chance for Jacob McCall to return. That sets the stage for Ashley Jackson. You got to hear from her in the halftime break. She's a trailblazer, one of the figureheads of the SFL, one of the most recognizable faces of the league's backstage. Helps to bring the league to the forefront with all the work that she does. One of the most decorated off-the-field players in the SFL, and she's working on a career year, almost 4,000 passing yards, a career high. She will throw it here, 80 yards away over the middle. It's dropped! It was in Hans's hands, but he couldn't haul it in.
Dude, that would have been the play of the game, and just very unfortunate. Just falls out of his well covered there at the end. And, you know, still time for Ashley Jackson here. I know she's got the support of her team. They believe in her. And right there, she had belief in her arm when took the big shot downfield. Almost worked out for him.
James Hand's top 10 in the league in receiving yards, receiving average, and touchdowns. Donnie Hand's top 3 in those 3 metrics as well. Both of them have had fantastic seasons. Jackson will throw it short, nearly swatted away, but Moses somehow hauls it in, breaks through the first tackle, and gets out to the first down at the gain of 12.
I like the hurry up, Tim.
Right back to the line go the Scorpions. They still have all 3 timeouts. 1:11 on the clock. Jackson has time, fires, and it's swatted away. Papineau had it. That stops the clock at 1:08.
Good job by Denver, adjusting on the fly in the no huddle, recognizing that Arizona was beating them with that post, and made the adjustment, got in position to make the play to stop the no huddle offense.
Ashley Jackson, nearly 4,000 passing yards, a career high, second most in the league. 24 passing touchdowns, a lot of picks, 35, but she was nearly flawless last week. She has been excellent once again today, trying to lead her team to a comeback. Floats it left sideline, tipped, and it's picked. Josh Vasquez on the 3-time tip drill, and he's taken down by Ashley Jackson. That may keep Arizona in this game, but a crucial interception from the striker. Josh Vasquez might have just brought Denver into the semifinals.
Yeah, Denver playing hot potato with it out there. And the veteran Josh Vasquez, 6 seasons in the league, knows what to do with it whenever he sees the ball bouncing around like that, goes up, grabs it, and gets a couple extra yards on the return. 3 timeouts for Arizona, so Denver's going to have to try to get the first down if they want to burn this.
You're 100% right. With those 3 timeouts left, Arizona has some life, but if Denver can somehow grind out a first down, this game is more or less over. Interception at the worst time for Ashley Jackson. Unsurprisingly, Denver will go with Jared Mcchesney. He picks up 2. Arizona is right on him once again. Alex Constantine makes the play.
Arizona's going to have to do that. They're going to have to play really, really tight defense and not let Denver get a first down here. Let Jackman, I guess, kick the field goal and then hope for a big play on the offense.
Denver has ridden Jared Mcchesney all season, all the way to possible MVP honors here in the SFL and an 11-1 regular season record. He is on the lowest output of his season. Eddie Gage steps up to help bring him down there, a gain of about 1.5. Unofficially now 62 rushing yards in this game for Jared Mcchesney. Remember, his season low this year was 74 against San Diego in a game that he missed a lot of. He only had 9 carries in that game, ended up with 74 yards. Today, 23 carries for 61 and 2 scores. But even with that in mind, any chance they go anywhere besides him here?
No, I don't think so.
And besides R.E. Mills, I highly doubt it. 2 in the backfield. Up the middle, Jared Mcchesney. Arizona is there once again. They have had his number all game. Stephen Bernard Smith, the 4th, the rookie safety, was there to help bring him down. Denver cannot move the sticks, and that'll send out Kramer Jackman to try to ice this game.
Arizona continuing to put out a great game plan and a great effort here at Denver. Did exactly what they needed to do. You know, they're still in position to win this game. They did have to use all of their timeouts, so they're going to have to no-huddle their way down the field, or hopefully Jacob McCall can get them a nice kick return, get them in good field position. But this game is not out of reach for Arizona. Holding to the field goal, they can still win it with a touchdown, Tim.
Kramer Jackman was 32 of 32 in the regular season. He's already made one earlier today, and one of the best kickers in league history, no doubt about it. He knocks it through from 35. Denver extends the lead out to 6, their largest of this game. The Nightwings this season, Steven, average better than 400 total yards of offense, and unofficially right now, they've rushed for 80 total yards. Josh Miller has thrown 220 passing yards. Matthew Van Eycken do 300 total yards of offense, 100 yards plus below their season average, and they still could walk out of here with the win.
Yeah, and it felt like, you know, Arizona has had a lot of things go their way, but at the same time, Denver has seemed to just somehow fight and scrap and stay in it. And for Arizona to be in this position, I mean, this is exactly what you dream for as an SFL player. This is your opportunity, your shot at greatness, and they have all the time in the world to do it.
This would be an all-time great performance. Coming up on the post-game update, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green will analyze this game, hand out game balls, and preview next week's semifinal action on Next Level Sports. It's all coming up on the post-game update, which might be as little as 40 seconds away. Arizona trying to pull off one of the biggest upsets in the SFL this season and in recent league history. Jackson under pressure. She's hit as she throws, but she's able to get the ball away, and she was waylaid by Des Troyer himself.
Yeah, and it was Jackson was ready to fire that one away. Was hit as she threw, so you'll take the incompletion, gives you a reset. You didn't lose yards. The clock stopped, so time to huddle back up, draw up a nice little play for the Scorpions.
Ashley Jackson has accomplished so much as a person and a player in this league. She's a trailblazer, the first female quarterback. Last week became the first female quarterback to win a postseason game. Now she's trying to engineer a massive upset. From the 18, they don't have any timeouts left. Floats it up into traffic. That could have been picked. Josh Vasquez, who just had one a minute ago, was not able to haul that one in. Arizona still has life.
I like the play call. I like the play call. The corner gives you the opportunity to get out of bounds. The post gives you the opportunity for the big play. Ashley went with the corner route, which I think, given the time and the field positioning, was the right route to throw to. Just unfortunate that was play.
Looking for Jacob McCall, who's working on a career game close to 100 yards in this contest. Donnie Hands has been quiet for the second straight outing. Jackson under pressure, down she goes. A critical sack for Denver. That brings up fourth down to Michael Rochester with the play of his season. The Scorpions quickly back to the line. They need 17 on fourth down, and there are fewer than 17 seconds left on play action. Jackson floats it this way. It's caught, but short of the sticks. Out of bounds it goes. It's caught by Roscoe Justice. Arizona with a valiant effort, but Denver will survive into the semifinals.
Yeah, somehow able to keep themselves in this ball game. It looked like Arizona was in control throughout. And just a couple of bad breaks for Arizona. Denver was able to capitalize, and Arizona fought their way through this ball game. Great effort defensively, offensively. Heck of a from Eddie Gage and Ashley Jackson. But a really, really great effort here from Denver at home to keep themselves in this ball game, showing why they're the number one team in the SFL.
Absolutely. The number one seed holds firm. They battle back from a deficit as large as 13-0, and the Nightwings keep their quest for SFL Championship number 2 alive. The number one seed is into the semifinal round, but only barely. Final score, Denver 35, Arizona 29.
It was just so fun to watch Arizona, Tim, on defense. I mean, they showed how to slow down this rushing attack from Denver. I mean, they're very, very, very well coached on defense. Joey Tropicana balled out today, dude. I mean, had a phenomenal game against Mcchesney. I want to give a shout out to Adam Wiseman also for Denver. The linebacker had a really nice game, quiet, but was just outplayed by Joey Tropicana. On the defensive line, I'll give Arizona all the credit in the world on that one. Really played their hearts out. That double team block where Constantine was actually out of position, but it put him in position to defend the pass. I thought that was phenomenal. It was just a really, really great ball game, Tim. I mean, can't ask for much more. This is just a prime example of what SFL playoff football looks like.
It delivers again, Steven. I mean, 2 one-possession games in the 2 quarterfinal games today. This one by just 6. Denver was on the ropes the whole time. That kick 6 from Riley Quintero is the difference in the game. And like we saw in the first game of this doubleheader, special teams ended up playing a huge part. Larry Barr hits 3 field goals out of nowhere for Arizona, but the Nightwings get the kick 6. They get the late insurance 3 points from Kramer Jackman. They lose the turnover battle, the Nightwings do, against a team in Arizona which usually loses the turnover battle, but that doesn't matter. Somehow the Nightwings find a way, and when you're a good team, the best team in the league like Denver was this year, that's what you do. You find a way.
Absolutely, and for Arizona, it's supposed to hurt. It hurts because you care, but you hold your heads up because you played a hell of a season. You guys, earn the respect of your community, of your team, and of the league. And so, a loss is a loss. You got to learn from it, become better, come out and fight harder next season. You definitely showed that you have what it takes here. So a phenomenal effort from Arizona, and I know Denver is really, really hungry trying to chase down that championship, but they got to go to a really, really tough team next week in Vancouver, who is hungry to get a playoff and a championship for themselves.
After a crazy season where so many things have happened, Stephen, how fitting is it that the top 4 seeds, all of the teams that got byes from the first round, those are the 4 teams that are left. Number 1, Denver. Number 2, Florida. Number 3, Baltimore. Number 4, Vancouver. Those are the last 4 teams standing. They've been probably the best 4 teams all season. There have been a couple of other really good ones as well that you know very well, obviously, but the top 4 teams are the last 4 teams remaining.
And I think that's a good indication, again, of retention and experience in the league.
Jared Mcchesney has a season-low 62 yards, but 2 key touchdowns. He is the MVP. We'll send it to the post-game after this. Thanks for watching today and all season. For Stephen Hacker, Tristan Hatley, Mark Mello, Cameron Irvine, I've been Tim Hackett. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you next time. Till then, so long. Post-game shows coming up next.
Welcome to the SFL post-game update with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. That was an instant classic, Mike, and probably the best game of the playoffs, although not for Arizona. 35-29. Denver gets the win, our third one-possession quarterfinal game of the weekend. That was a devastating ending, and Mike, you were saying during the break, Arizona's going to be kicking themselves for a long time with some of those plays that happened in that second half.
Yeah, Cam, Arizona, they were, I won't say in control of the game, but they definitely had a good handle on the game up until DJ Moses' fumble late in the third quarter, and then everything pretty much changed after that. And what we found out about Denver, man, you really have to put these guys away, because if you don't, they're going to come storming back, and they're not over. They're not done until the clock strikes 0.
I mean, you got the missed extra point. Then you have in the third quarter, Iverson Gamble almost with the pick 6. Then they have to settle for 3. Then they give up the kick return. James Hands drops the pass down the field. I mean, there's just so many opportunities there, and they just couldn't capitalize. I mean, they took Denver to the brink, and Denver's, I mean, they're the cats of the SFL right now. This team has 9 lives. I mean, you can't, nobody can get rid of these guys. They just keep winning games in the second half. It is super impressive.
Yeah, these guys haven't lost, 3 games in 2 seasons, for nothing. I mean, this is a great roster, great coaching staff. These guys obviously put together a great game plan week in and week out. But I do want to go back to Arizona real quick. They obviously put together a great game plan to shut Mcchesney down. He had basically the worst game he's had all season long. He did have a couple of touchdown runs, but he wasn't the typical effective Mcchesney that we saw all season long. So they executed what they wanted to do. But just Denver, just proved, hey, man, you have us down. You better go ahead and choke us out.
Mcchesney's 3 worst games this season. The game he was injured against San Diego, they won by 3 on a block punt. The game against Houston, which they lost, their only loss of the season. And then this game here today, which they almost lost, and without Riley Quintero, may have well lost the game. Just unbelievable. As we wrap things up here, and let's get to the quarterfinals real quick before we leave today, Mike. The top 4 seeds make it. Three favorites coming into the week win 1 possession ball games narrowly to escape and advance into the quarterfinals. Vancouver will go to Denver. That's a 6:45 kick. Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson on that call. And then Baltimore and Florida. Andy Hamilton and an analyst TBD as Gerald Giudice has had something come up with his family. Everything's all right, but won't be able to call the game. But we'll get that situated before we get to next weekend. But wow, what a couple of great games coming up, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, very, intriguing matchups, on both sides there. The top 4 teams are there. Baltimore, as we know, they've been, kind of struggling up until the game that they just played yesterday. Florida, strong defense. They showed that strong defense again today. Will they be able to shut down this passing game of Jack Whitmore and Baltimore? It's going to be very interesting to see. Very big matchup with that receiving core and going up against the Florida secondary. And then on the other side, of course, Vancouver's just explosive on offense on their side. But we saw today, maybe some plays can be made downfield on Denver. Maybe Vancouver can exploit some of that. They do have a great running back in Robert Redford. We'll see what they can do with that. And also, maybe Arizona showed them a little something about maybe how you can stop Mcchesney. So it's going to be two very intriguing matchups. Can't wait to see it next weekend.
Last season, the top 4 teams made the semifinals, and then both road teams won, and Baltimore became the first 4 seed to win a championship. Could Vancouver follow suit, or will we have either our first repeat champion since season 12 in Baltimore? Will Denver get their second and their first since season 13? Or will it be Florida tying Queen City for their 4th title and their first since season 12? A bunch of heavyweights. It starts next week, Saturday, May 1st on Next Level Sports at 4:30 Eastern, and Mike and I will be here with you for it all. Thanks, everybody, for viewing, tuning in to the SFL quarterfinals on Next Level Sports and For the Fans all weekend long. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League, and we will see you next weekend. Thanks for your viewership and support. Have a great weekend, everybody.